Okay, today is September 5th, 2024, and this is Community Education Council's September 2024 calendar and business meeting. My name is Vijay Ramjatan. I'm the president of this council, and I'm so happy to welcome all of you on behalf of the wonderful CEC team who is present here. And we are so, what happened? And we are so grateful. Well, there I am. And we are so grateful that so many of you have chosen to join us today on the first day of school. Yes, yes, yes. If you use the chat feature, if you use the reactions button on the screen, you can give an applause, a thumbs up, a heart for the first day of school. I just did it there. Yay, first day of school. For all the wonderful parents who did a wonderful job sending their kids back to school today. We are up and running. Yes, so many hands, so many hearts. We love it. So before we get started, I'm going to ask our Spanish interpreters to please make announcements in Spanish. At this point in time, I invite our Spanish interpreters to please make announcements in Spanish for interpretation.
Buenas noches a todos. Good evening, everyone. Para escuchar esta sesión en español, por favor, marquen al 347-966-4114 e ingrese el código de conferencia 213-847-320 numeral. Una vez más, para escuchar esta sesión en español, por favor, digite en su teléfono 347-966-4114 e ingrese el código de conferencia 213-847-320 numeral. Voy a dejar la información en el chat de Zoom para que puedan acceder. End of Spanish announcement. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So once again, we are having the speaker, Dorinda, the speaker. We are having interpretations based on the need. So if any of you or any of you know anyone who needs to have interpretation services in a different language, please let us know. We are happy to bring them, but we want to make sure that they're going to be used. So we are going to be having Spanish interpretation going forward for the rest of the school year. And going forward, we will ask you to please let us know if we need additional translations. At this point in time, we'll be asking our recording secretary, Natifa Lewis, to please do a roll call.
President Vijay Ramjatan.
I'm here.
First Vice President Quentin Mezitin.
Here. Second
Vice President Yu Tao Chen.
Not excused. Not excused.
He did submit yes, his wife had an accident.
Oh, excuse. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Recording Secretary Natifa Lewis, I'm here. Treasurer Tanya Went.
Here.
Member Julissa.
Here.
Member Luzao.
Yeah.
Member Nurun Swapna.
Here.
Member GK Kalyanaram.
Yes, yeah.
Member Pakita Williams.
Here.
Member Simone Dunbar. Member Lauren Calabi.
Thank you so much, Recording Secretary Natifa Lewis. Did you call yourself? Natifa is here. And she has a new hairstyle, folks. She looks at September. If so happens, you know, she's doing it. New beginnings. So I want to welcome all of you here. Hope you had a wonderful summer. Unfortunately, in our district, we had maybe I think one child I know who didn't, you know, so make it through the summer, and we extend our condolences to that school community, to that family, letting them know the CEC is thinking about them. And every scholar in our district is valuable. They are all valuable, and we miss, you know, having them all back. For those of you who did make it back, to the students who are back in school this year, we are your Community Education Council. We are a body of 11 parents and one high school student who has been elected by you to represent your needs, your concerns. We are your voices to elevate your concerns. So we are here for you. So know that we are here for you to come to our meetings, bring a friend or two, and we are hybrid. What that means is we're going to be having in person. And today we have so many wonderful families, 100 of them here. Wow, 100 family members are here today. And all of you online also joining us today. So please do come in person, come online, so we can accommodate your needs and concerns. And also, we have, this meeting is structured in two ways. We have the calendar meeting and the business meeting. The calendar meeting happens first, where we speak to you, the community, we listen to your concerns. And most importantly, we have a chance where we get to hear directly from our superintendent, our community superintendent, Dr. Blake. He's always at the meetings. And today he's here with us in person in the district. Yes, he is here. All these people, yes, yeah. He is here with us in the office, and of course, the amazing Vic is with him here. He's hiding right now. But Vic is here as well. But all of you are here. Yeah, Vic. We are the 120 of us who are here. It's just amazing, So to all of you, the most important part for me in this meeting is not also what we bring to you, but hearing from your voices. So at this point in time, we'll be asking our member Simone Dornbach to please make an announcement about our chat feature. We want to hear from you from the chat feature, but there are some restrictions and some rules that we would like all of us to follow. Simone?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our September calendar meeting. I hope your children had a wonderful first day. The chat is now open. Please remain kind and respectful, especially when in disagreement. We will not accept hateful comments and we'll close the chat if participants don't adhere. If you would like to make a public comment, please type your name and speak. I saw that there was already one person who indicated that she wanted to speak. We are very happy you're here. You can sign up until what time, BJ?
It's 8 o'clock.
Until 8 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Simone. So yes, you have just write the word speak, and then we will track your name. So we have the amazing Tanya Wendt, our treasurer, who will be and her and Nuran will sit next to each other. They can monitor the chat feature, so they can cooperate and make sure who signed up first. Jessica Zillow signed up is first, and who's last is last. Oh, Vanessa was first. There we go. They're checking. They're doing a good job already. They're on it. So Tanya and Nuran will monitor our chat feature to ensure that we are following our guidelines, and as well also they'll let us know later on to call a list for public speaking. Please, we want to hear from you, even if we want to hear something good. So a lot of times families think they have to come and speak about what's not working or what something is going bad. But if something is working really well in your school community, or your principal or your teacher is doing a great job, we want to hear that too. We love to hear good feedback too. It's good when we know we are doing well, but also to where we need to make improvements. So at this point in time, I would like to pass it over to our superintendent, who is here, Dr. Blake, who hit the ground running, who is in our district here doing a great job. And we're always so happy to have him, his presence in the room, a leader in his field. Over to you, Dr. Blake.
Thank you very much, Vijay, for that warm welcome. Just want to say good evening, good afternoon to all the members of the community, and to parents and families. I want to wish you a great, successful, productive year as we embark on our first day back at school. Today, as I walked the different corridors in different schools, I was very proud to see how the children are being smiling and being welcomed by the different staff members. That made us feel very, very, very good. And we know that this is a partnership, because without the families and the entire community, we would not be able to make it in District 28. So we're thanking you very much for the great service that you've provided and for the continued collaboration that we'll have going forward. Especially members of the CEC and our community-based organizations, I want to say welcome back to the members who have been serving, and welcome to brand new members. Thank you very much. We look forward to continuing collaborative efforts in making our district not one of the best, but the greatest among the other districts. So we're the great 28. All right, having given those opening remarks, I'll take you into some of the presentation. So as you know, in Community District 28, we are focused on equity as a lever for student achievement. Every scholar is very important to us. We have a diverse community. In fact, we're said to be like the United Nations, if you will. We have every language group represented in our area. And it is my wish as the leader of the community in this capacity as superintendent to ensure that every child is getting what he or she deserves. So what does that mean? We begin with our leaders and make sure that the leaders have what they need to run the school. Our teachers are very, very important to make sure that they have the materials. And of course, our students and our community partners are also very, very important. So my job is to promote critical thinking and to make sure that all our students thrive, not just survive, but thrive in a very good environment, conducive environment. So in our community school district, we celebrate our differences because we understand that woven into those differences is a knowledge that they offer endless or unlimited possibilities. And we are open arms to everyone, New Yorkers, everybody, we welcome them. We do not get the chance to select our clientele. Those are the families. So whoever shows up, we'll be making sure we provide for their academic and social well-being. These are some of the core values that we're committed to in District 28. All scholars can learn. We believe that with adult support, every child can learn. Scholars learn in different ways. We do understand that. And at different paces. Not every child learns at the same pace. So our schools and our teachers or principals are equipped with that knowledge that everyone has a different entry point, so to speak. Scholars should be challenged to be lifelong learners. We also believe that the key aspect of education is developing optimally rounded scholars, not just one-dimensional, but optimally rounded, so that they can be informed members of the society and they can make informed decisions and solve problems. We believe that education enables individuals to be responsible, self-disciplined, and really productive members of the society. We are also recognize that we're a culturally diverse society. What this enriches us. This is not like a deficit. This is a positive effort. So we look at the positive mindset. We also strive to create a safe and caring environment for all our scholars and staff. So sad we know about the shooting of critical, school shooting. We are making sure. We're making sure that our schools are safe as they can be. And kids' safety is very, very important. Without safety, learning doesn't take place. So we are ensuring that our school is very safe and nurturing. Just some overview of our district, some stats. We have 36 schools in District 38 with almost 22,000 scholars. We know that we have scholars from every diverse group. We have Hispanic students who are the largest, they're the majority in our district. We have Asian students, Black, Latinx, Native American, just about every strata, if you stratum. In terms of economic disadvantage, we have kids who are, under families with different economic situations, and we have kids who run the gamut. The point I'm just trying to say that it can be a challenge sometimes, because sometimes, especially as our students we have an influx of New Yorkers, and this is really impacting our district. But as we said, we're not looking at it as a problem. We're looking at it as an opportunity to be able to reach out to those families and welcome them and embrace them in our fabric and our tapestry. These are some goals that we have set for this year in terms of, we're located, of course, in Southern Queens. It is comprised of as I said, that over 22,000 students. Can I see this good? Student body, 51% of our scholars are males, 49, almost equal, male, female. Demographically, we are diverse, as I spoke about that. In recent months, however, we continue to have an increase of migrant newcomer families, which will further add to our diversity. This will also impact our need and ability to provide both educational and social emotional services to our students. To some, this may be a challenge. However, as we said, with the support of our collective community, I view this as an opportunity, not a challenge. Together, we will rise to the circumstances and continue to serve all scholars and their families with excellence. And we spoke about the next slide, we spoke about the number of schools. These are my big priorities for this year, is to improve the outcomes of mathematics by implementing common research-based curriculum, introducing or scaling with appropriate, can I see that? Right, so the overall, our math in the district went up. So as a district, we went up. In English, it went a little bit down, but that is expected. The research speaks that whenever or whenever new curriculum comes on board, there's always a little dip. So we did dip in some instances. However, we're still way above the city's average. We're at 54.6% in ELA, and the city is at 49%. In math, we are way above the city's average again. We are at 59.7, and that was a rise upward. We are looking at the HMH curriculum, which is really based on the science of reading. That's the curriculum we have touted, and to really improve the skills of our students. We are working hard to substantially improve daily attendance. We had a problem with attendance in our district, and once I came on board, we started to chip away at that. So this year we gained, regular attendance went up, and also the chronic absenteeism went down. That means that more kids are coming to school. And that is not just accidental. We have had so many attendance teachers who have been disseminated across this district to visit homes and to ensure that kids are in schools, and to save corridors for students to go back and forth in the school. So we are proud about that. Next slide. This is the part I spoke to you before. We are at 54.5%. So we decreased 0.3, 0.6 in ELA. So as I said before, still higher than the city. So I don't have to repeat that. Our goal for this year is to really increase the literacy outcome by at least 3%. 3 is only a little margin, but we're aiming for more. But just to keep it safe, we're trying to move up to 57.5. And of course, the same thing with our multi-language learners families. They went from 8% to 11%. So we did see an increase there. While we're aiming to move from 8% to 11%. And also students with disabilities, they did perform very well this year in the district. The scores went up. However, that is not the end point for us. It's still a journey, and we are hoping and trying our best to get our students what they need. What does that mean? Spoke about that already, the DCP goals, but spoke about attendance went up from 90.40 to 90.70. So that's improving. I spoke about that already. The chronic absenteeism went down. And this is the next point. We want to talk about the class size reduction law. We know that it came into effect. However, citywide, 40%, we meet 40% in the city, they're meeting the mandate of the small class size. K2-3 should have 20 or fewer students per class. Those are some of the tenets of the law, the mandates. However, if you listen to the chancellor's, deputy chancellor and the chancellor's comments, that they really need to increase the space in New York City public schools to be able to reach their targeted goals. Continue to build new schools. There's their major mantra to build schools. Highly qualified teachers. They're saying that 10 to 12,000 new teachers are needed citywide to implement the class size rule. So they need increased funding. District 28, however, how are we doing with that? We have been working with Central, DOE, and students in temporary housing regional managers and enrollment offices to make sure that we can meet our 3% target, the 3% target rate. Summer 2024, we reduced class size in 16 schools, totaling 62 classrooms, district-wide, to meet target in preparation for the new year. Discussing new enrollment protocol to support class size reductions as students are being enrolled. What we're saying is that the enrollment is not really in line with what we are trying to do, right? So they're trying their very best, but they're still we have capped many of our schools. Sometimes enrollment still asks us to release a cap to take families because we're not in the habits of turning people, everybody away. However, we are continuously trying to make sure that our students are manageable. Ratio of students to teacher, we're still trying to keep that. So I would say that our issue in Queens is that it's very, very, very overcrowded, saturated. And as I said, we have almost 22,000 scholars. So we are trying our best to meet the class size mandates. In many schools, we are doing it. In other schools, it's saturated. What they have come up with is a waiver. So each district that cannot really meet the class size mandate, we have to apply for a waiver. And then with that waiver, then they allow us to kind of work overtime. So we are still trying our best. I heard about it, looked at the resolution you're making, and we're saying that in spirit, of course, I'm going to agree to, support your resolution because it's one way of helping us to get what we want in Queens. But remember that we're tethered to a larger system, the DOE and their, the mandates. So we're trying our very best to work with enrollment to make sure that our classes are not overstaffed or overcrowded. So when I walked across the schools today, I was very pleased to see, like in most of the early grades, they're like 25 kids, the numbers are getting within reach. And the teachers are, comfortable. But as I said, it's a target. We're not there yet. It's a work in progress. So we welcome any support that the council and the community at large will provide for that. I just want to introduce to you that what we're doing in District 28, we realize that, of course, our scholars have grown, exponentially. So we have gotten an increase in our footprint at the district level. We have new staff members to help us. So these are some of them. We have Doris Castillo. She was heavily sought after. We got her in 28. She's an ELA implementation specialist. She's trained, highly skilled in all the tenets of literacy to help to implement the curriculum and to implement the science of reading. So she'll be dispersed to all the schools across District 36 to really help where the need is great. Then we have Miss Betty Severin. She was recently served as a principal in Brooklyn. We were able to have her in District 16, from District 16 in my District 28, and she's a literacy specialist, and she's also charged with going to help the schools that are really in need of helping students to get a foot with the literacy. We have these other two professionals, Laveda Palmer and Crystal Singletary Stone. These are reading interventionists. There's highly skilled professionals who will go to specific schools to help with the kids, not just working with the teachers, but to work with groups of students to get them ready for reading, especially those early foundation skills that kids are really lacking. So we have kind of put our money where our mouth where our money is by getting these new members on board to really work with our district team to really be in the schools and making sure that our kids are getting over the threshold of good literacy, strong foundation literacy. And that's what they're charged to do. Then in addition to that, we have the UFT Teacher Center, who is working across all our 36 schools across the district to ensure that our youngsters, the foundation skills kids are exposed to those skills. Because we believe that strong foundations will enable students to do well in literacy especially, and mathematics is also literacy, multi-step problems. You have to be able to read and to be able to understand. So we have gotten those new members in the district to really help us, and others are coming on board as well to make sure that I've been charging the entire district team that we won't be in the office, so to speak. We'll be in the school, dispersed to the schools to help the kids in the classroom to work side by side with children. So those are some of the goals that we have. And of course, we welcome your input and collaboration. And we know that I'm very hopeful and very, very positive that with all this influx of help, that our students will move the needle along the path of literacy, mathematics, and chronic absenteeism will be on the downside. So again, I want to thank you very much for the families, and I look forward to continue working with you in a collaborative atmosphere and also to engineer really productive results, not just talk, but doing the work. So I want to thank you very much for listening to this presentation. And of course, I'll be on the call to answer the questions later on.
Thank you so much, Dr. Blake, for your time, and we're happy that you have community involved here. I'm happy that you have chosen to be with us in the office. It's many of our members first time meeting you in person here in the office, so it's good that they see you as well, and we like having you here. So thank you for being here with us.
No trouble.
At this point in time, I'll be asking Sonia Roweda if there's anything she wants to add from her end in terms of the district and anything she's seeing. So we can ask Sonia to please unmute at this point in time and bring any greetings that she would like to bring.
Good evening, VJ. I think you said my name. I wasn't sure. I wasn't clear. Did you say my name?
Yeah, I did, yes.
So good evening, everyone. It is 2024-2025 school year. I cannot believe that we're here already. I'm very excited to support you as a CEC, as a council. Just a couple of things that I wanted to mention. in addition to what Dr. Blake was mentioning, our core values, our literacy, our work with chronic absenteeism and math, know that my role is to ensure that families are part of that work, right? That those core values, we talk about your core values as families and how we're going to work together as partners. I will be starting the parent leadership sessions, and I'll put it in the chat. Very important that you attend, whether you are an elected parent leader or not. You're a leader in your home, you're supporting your children. The Department of Education, if you haven't figured it out, can be a little convoluted with all the policies and regulations. And so my job is to give you those tools and resources so you can have the conversations, ask the questions. Please continue to ask us questions, continue to challenge us. But please come to the session so that you can have the resources that you need to continue to support your children and really be active participants in this process. From SLT to PTA to Title I, I'll put it all in the chat, and I look forward to, if you have any questions later this evening, looking forward really to a successful new year and working with you together in partnership. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sonia, and thank you for all the work that you do. And of course, I'm sure you're having hundreds of emails with reference to families asking, how can they transfer their kids from one school to another? And my son got into the wrong school and they're on a waiting list. What's your advice to families who have many of those questions? I've been telling them they got to go to the Welcome Center, but it's not up to the school. So what is your answer to that question when families are asking, how can I transfer my child from one school to the other?
So thank you, Vijay. And I'm glad you said that. It really is the Family Welcome Center, that team that supports families. But I speak with families because sometimes I can answer questions. Oftentimes I have families that want to transfer, and the school they want to go to is actually their own school. And so depending on the case by case, I can help them. And if not, I will, link them with someone in the Family Welcome Center. But ultimately, they are the ones. But I'm more than happy to be a liaison with families, not only with the Family Welcome Center, but with busing and anything else.
Thank you so much, Sonia. Thank you so much. Your families, you hear that, right? So it's not the district office, it's not the school, it's not VJ. I don't have that kind of power. I really don't. I got hundreds of emails of families emailing me, do something now. And I get it. I understand the frustration, but we don't have that kind of power, or that it's not within our scope of work to assist you in getting your child in the school of that you desire to. So just FYI. So Dr. Blake wanted to add 2 more comments. So I ask this time, I ask him to please continue. Dr. Blake.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd just like to add 2 more comments. We just had a great collaboration with the UFT. We had welcomed over 70 new teachers, educators in the district. So we could put a hand to welcome those teachers. We just had a great collaboration with that. Thank you so much. And also Francisco Lindor of the Mets, I think, donated 150 backpacks to community schools, 54, that Patricia Ainley School, 150 backpacks to families. So just want to speak about those 2 in our comments, that we continue to reach out with, with strong partnerships. And I would also like to congratulate VJ for being re-elected as president of the council.
Our 8th graders.
And our 8th graders who did not make it regularly, we just had a beautiful graduation ceremony for them to welcome them and their families as they move on to high school. So we did that. I just want to thank you very much. I had to mention those 3 pointers. So again, thanks for your attention to this, and we look forward to continuing to work with you.
Thank you, Dr. Blake. And as I mentioned before, if you have a question for the district office, many of the members are here and the team, you can ask them directly. That's one of the benefits of this monthly meeting. You get to speak to the superintendent directly. So please write the word "speak" in the comment section, and we can go ahead and acknowledge you later on. So at this point in time, my friends, we have a new member. She's not new to education. She's new to our district. as our face liaison. And I'll ask her to please go to the computer there and so the Zoom world can see you. Yeah, and her name is Tamika, and she'll tell you more about her role, and she's our new face liaison from the DOE. Go ahead, Tamika.
Just talk. Yes. Okay. Good evening, council members. Good evening, Dr. Blake. My name is Tamika Nurse Carter. I work as a governance liaison. I know you've had Lolita before. And she, she was quite saddened that she had to leave you guys, that she started to build relationships with you. But my job today is to support the council, build partnerships with you, also be a thought partner in the work that you're doing in the district. A little bit about me, I have 4 children. I had 2 in District 75, went through that process already, always been a parent advocate and supported school communities. Also worked with community schools from the beginning. So I know I can probably be a real good thought partner with the council. I look forward to working with you all and supporting the work that you are currently doing in your council. I heard that you've been doing great work. I read a lot about everyone. And I look forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We will keep you busy. We are a very active council, but also to what I value mostly about our council is we build long-lasting partnerships, and we do not believe in working in silos. We do work in partnership with you and the DOE, the district, everybody else. We are a team. So welcome. Thank you. Yeah, as we we also have in-house here today from the Borough President's office, we have, Mr. Pata, who is here, who will just come and bring greetings really quickly. As she makes her way to the computer, I want to welcome Principal Hanley, Principal Michelle Cespedes, Principal Nick Petrello, and Principal Robin Signal, who is here on board with us. We would love to see more principals. Parents, please tell your principals, come to the CEC meeting once a month. We would love to see more of them present here at our meeting. And these are the consistent faces that we always see: Principal Hanley, Principal Petrello, Principal Signal from way back in the days, and Principal Michelle Cespedes. They're always present. So we would love to see more principals on board. This is a space that we build here. Over to you, Mr. Pata.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vic, and congratulations. And congratulations to you, Princeton, as well. Thank you all for having me. I'm Kat Zapata. I know I've been around and in many capacities. Great to see you as well. Superintendent, thank you so much for having me. So I'm just here to represent the borough president. We do have some events coming up, but we have Simone who will be talking about it later on. We have a high school fair, and then we also did a bunch of backpack rides around the summer in District 28. I believe we held one, but we did do some nearby ones. I believe one in College Playground, one in Royal Wilkins Park, some neighboring communities, and hopefully for the years to come expand those. So happy to always leave my contact information, and parents, please feel free to always reach out as well. We also don't have power in enrollment, so so you left that Vijay, you left that one out. So but always feel free to reach out, and we will contact the Family Welcome Center or the central office on your behalf. So thank you very much for having me.
Here it is. Now I'm unmuted. So thank you, Kat, for being here and for being a partner with us from the Borough President's office. Love to see you always. Thank you. Just want to make sure the community knows the Borough President appoints 2 members of our CEC, who is appointed for the term of the CEC. And currently we have Simone Dornbach, and we have also Lauren Clavin, who is serving at the Borough President's behalf on our council to represent his office. Also today, we have all 100 of these people here. We have also amazing Shirley Aube, who is here. I would love her to say hi, please. She is, Shirley Aube is the CPAC co-chair, and also she's one of the Borough Presidents also appointed to the PEP, the Panel for Education Policy, who is here with us, so she can just say hi and bring greetings also. These are all partners who advocate for you and for me and for all of us. Go ahead, Shirley.
I just want to say good first day of school for those who welcome back and those whose first day of school ever.
Shirley, come back a little bit because we can't say come back. There you are.
So I just So Kat is connected, but we're going around and we're visiting different communities in Queens, and we want to hear from you. And this is one of the spaces that we can hear, one of the platforms. We're going to visit all different kind of platforms, but we want to encourage that family and community engagement. So please go to your PAPTAs, go to your SLTs, go to your education councils, go to town halls, go to town halls in your specific communities, because we need to know how to better serve you, and we need to hear your voice. So welcome back, and see you around.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much. And also, too, we have Adriana Alicia, who is the elected parent, CEC, PEP, sorry, not CEC anymore. Adriana Alicia is the PEP rep for Queens that was elected by the CEC presidents of Queens. She came last month, but it was very low attendance because of the summer. But I would definitely want everyone to say hi, to know who she is. She is your voice also on the PEP as well. So Adriana, please, can you bring brief greetings?
I think it's working. Can you guys hear me? Great, fantastic. Thank you, VJ, very much. And thank you, everyone, CC, all of our community that's in person and online. It's so good to see you all here. I'm looking forward to a great school year. I'll put my official PEP email address in the chat. Please feel free at any time to email me there or at my personal email address. I'll share both of those. And I'm looking forward to a great school year. See you guys around.
Thank you so much, Adriana. And of course, I want to hear from our principals who are on board, who's on with us tonight. Just briefly, real brief remarks about how was your first day at school. We would love to hear from all of you, briefly, who's here. Anything you noticed, anything you want to share with us. I know I saw one principal on social media with, he's a senator, Assemblyman Khalil Anderson. And he was published all over the New York Times, doing a great job, amazing stuff. Principal Petrello, you want to say hi, followed by Principal Hanley.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 24-25 school year. I'm so excited. Thank you, VJ, and the rest of the CEC. These meetings are always so informative. It's a great place to really connect and partner with families. 121 had a fantastic first day. Kids were running inside, running up, hugging us. They couldn't wait to enter the building. The building was buzzing with wonderful activities. It was busy, but it was a good buzz. You could feel it and see it and just sense it all around. So I think for us at 121 today, that was a great start to what I think is going to be one of our best years yet. And I'm super excited to continue growing and learning with the community as a whole. So thank you all. And I also want to reiterate, schools do not have a say in enrollment. So please don't email me. I can't do anything. Thank you. And welcome and good evening.
Can you tell us which community your school is located? What part of the district, your community?
We're South Ozone Park.
We didn't hear you, sorry.
I'm sorry, South Ozone Park.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Principal Hanley, please tell us
Good
your name,
evening,
of course, the school district, community, you're in, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, so I have the honor and pleasure of being principal of PS 54Q, the Hillside School. We're in Richmond Hill. We're on Hillside Avenue and 127th Street. We had a great opening today. It was wonderful to see everybody back, excited to be there. I think we only had 2 little ones crying in kindergarten, and my heart always bleeds for them because I did it every day for a whole entire year. But they were happy when they left at the end of the day. So it was great. We still have a lot of people calling us to enroll, and we do have some spots in some grades, and we are looking to cap in some other grades. So we're excited for the new school year. Everyone seems to really have great attitudes, and they can't wait to get going.
Thank you so much. And the crying happens, and it's the first day, but I think you will do a great job. That warm welcome you always do. I'm sure they'll be very at home very soon. Thank you so much. Principal Cespedes, you can unmute at this time bring greetings.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It was a great day at Jamaica Children's Magnet School, PS 312 in South Jamaica. We're located in the PS 40 building on the 4th and 5th floor. Everyone was excited. I was so happy to see all of the smiling faces and our family and our community members come in with a smooth opening. We are taking new registrants by the bus load. There were tons of people there today. We still have some spots available. Very excited to always listen to what is happening with the CEC in District 28. And I want to wish the rest of my colleagues and everyone in the district a great school year 2024-25. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And then Principal Robin Hasbury Signal, please bring greetings.
Good afternoon, everyone, and what a way to start our school year. I'm Principal Hasbury Signal. I'm the proud principal of Ellington Magnet School right at PS 140. We had so many students that was joining us today. Thank you, colleagues, for talking about enrollment, because we don't have a say around enrollment. We are so proud to be a gifted and talented school within our district. We are located on the south side, and we welcome everyone from all over District 28. So if you can make it there, we make sure that we educate everyone. We want to celebrate all the games that we had this past testing year, but we just had a whole bunch of happy faces and a whole bunch of opportunities that we look forward to sharing with our CEC. To really look at the enhancements that we've done with our magnet program, and we've hired 8 to 10 new staff members. So it's rejuvenated our school building. It's a learning ground. We have partnerships with SUNY Old Westbury and Queens College. So we have all these bright faces that are coming in and learning about the new curriculum. And this year, a major focus will be for us for parent engagement. So we want to make sure that our parents utilize the CEC. We usually have large numbers of teachers and everyone that join the CEC, whether it's virtually or in person. And I'm so blessed and thankful that I started my 23rd year. And I'd like to thank our CEC for supporting me at the end of the school year. I got some amazing gifts. We had a family tragedy. So thank you, thank you, thank you for thinking of me as Robin as a person, and thanking you once again for supporting me as your principal in South Jamaica. Thank you. Have a great year, everybody.
23 years. Wow, you look 23 years old. Wow. But listen, I'm your liaison for your school, and I want to say to you, for the years I've been your liaison, one of the things I admire about you, and I'm sure most of the principals here, the warmth you give the children, the love and the care beyond education and academia that you show these children, and they walk into your office and I just want to hug, and you're like, yes, come in. And it's just appreciated, and from a parent perspective, and those little times and moments that you make a difference, it will have a lasting impact, and keep doing it for the next 23 years, please.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, we have Principal Katan Brown. Any other principals, please put the word principal before your name so I know you're here. I don't want to skip you. Principal Katan Brown, please bring greetings. Going once, going twice. Maybe she stepped away for a little bit, but when she comes back, we can definitely check in with her. But also, in our presence, we have Mr. Matthew Goodman, who is with the district office and who does a lot of work around. I want him to tell you what he does, and it's good that you families know who these people are in our district office doing a lot of the groundwork. Matthew, please bring greetings, say hi, but also too, to let you know that we would love to have you come back and do a presentation on your work that you do in the district and how it's been going and what is your future goals for the district. Go for it, Matthew.
So thank you, VJ, and everyone at the CEC. I send you greetings. I hope that everyone had a wonderful, wonderful summer. Before I talk a little bit about what we're doing, I just wanted to highlight Dr. Blake and the team had us visiting schools today, all of us, to just check in to see how everyone's doing. And I had the pleasure of being in Forest Hills by 175, 157, 99, and I walked. And walking through the neighborhood in the morning, seeing the parents and the families smiling and going to the schools was really an amazing experience in Forest Hills today. So I just wanted to congratulate everybody. As Dr. Blake shared, we are expanding our team this year. We did bring on, we're gonna be bringing on a 6th member. And, you know, our goal for this year is to kind of pick up where we left off last year, is partnering with the Students Temporary Housing. We do have approximately 36 shelters in our district. So working with them to address our migrant families and other families that are coming in that have, hardships at the moment. And as well as, really focusing on working with the attendance coordinators in each of our schools to address all of our kids who are chronically absent. We're excited to do this. And I would gladly, come back to one of the meetings. We can, calendar with Dr. Blake, and I'll present. And we can go to a data dive looking at the district as a whole over the last couple of years. But I do believe that 28 is starting to return to our pre-COVID, numbers, which is really beautiful. So I look forward to the work ahead this year with you in the CEC, as well as all the principals and the executive team in superintendent's office.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Just to really echo something that's happening in our district, in our CEC, in August, our August calendar meeting, the council voted to add a new committee to our CEC. And this new committee is called the Class Size Law, or it's Class Size, just Class Size Committee. It was suggested by our first Vice President, Quentin, to have this council. And I would like to have him and his co-chair just say 2 words about what are their goals for this council, because many of you were vacationing or somewhere else and don't know what's happening, but you should be aware of what's happening at the district or to the CEC here. So I'll ask Quentin here, he's a chair, to really say 2 words about what his goals are for the class size committee of the CEC. Quentin?
This is working, right? Everybody can hear me? Cool. All right, so class size law committee, I wanted to personally just put this idea together because it was one of the biggest things that was happening, that is happening, that is going to continue to happen, that's affecting all of us. And like a lot of principals and members of the district already said, this is not on them. So we just want to put this together to kind of find out who is it on, and let's put our ideas together on how we can make this so much more beneficial for all of us, because we are all in this together and we want to make sure of that, but we don't want to make it part of everything else because it's such a big thing on its own. I wanted to just separate it so we could have these conversations, we could get this knowledge, and we could find out what ways we can all better the process of this happening in these next couple of years.
Thank you so much. We have Dr. Hall, who is here with us, and I'd like to say a few words. And also we'll call on Principal. I just saw it on the chat. I'll call you next, Principal, from, I saw you just put it in the chat. But Dr. Hall, please go for it.
All right, good evening, everyone. It's so great.
But you're gonna put the speaker on. 1 second, Dr. Hall. 1 second, please. You're gonna have to repeat. Sorry.
No problem.
The volume. Okay, go for it.
Awesome. So it's so great to be in community with each of you here tonight, beginning the 24-25 school year together. I want to share what my morning was like today. And, the greater part of the day, I spent it with our youngest scholars at our 3 pre-K centers. And, one of the things that I loved about the visit was that I was able to engage with the leaders of the pre-K centers, the families of the pre-K centers, and the teachers and students. So in those classrooms, parents were there and they were able to engage in learning with the children, orienting themselves to the classroom and to the entire facility. As you know, there we have our 3K and 4K scholars at each of those sites. And the structure that they had today was really lovely. It allowed for families to be able to visit their child's classroom and then also have an orientation with the school's leaders. So I want to say a huge shout out to our leaders at the pre-K site. Many of you know that Doreen Duff recently retired, so there's a new leader at that site. So it was really great to see the year kick off in an impactful way with leaders, teachers, families, and students. And all of the reports that we got back across the district was that our schools have kicked off the 24-25 school year in a wonderful way. One other note I want to make is around teaching and learning. So I know that in Dr. Blake's presentation, he talked about our new team members. There's a role that we have added that Central has added to our team that I want to highlight for us. We now have reading interventionists that will work directly one-to-one with our students. So those team members will actually sit in our district office. They work under the superintendent's office and on his team, but they work in our schools directly with students and working in small groups. So that's a huge plus for our district, because we have people that work in the district that not only work with our leaders and teachers, but they work directly with students. So we are working to ensure that we identify the best pairing so that those interventionists are in the schools that we need them to be in, and then our principals will work with us to identify the students they will be assigned to. So D28 is on its way to continue the trend of greatness.
How many pre-K sites do we have in our district? Do we know this number of 10?
We have 3.
Sorry, volume. Go ahead, Doctor.
We have 3.
3. And just based on my question, is that enough for our district? Who determines how many do we have, and who determines if we need more? Where do we get more from? Because I've heard families reaching out to me saying their children are getting through in the pre-K or 3K and they need a seat close to home. How do we determine that? Who's responsible for that?
So the Office of Space Planning determines which sites in our buildings receive a 3K or pre-K program. So definitely let us know which areas in our district we have families that are asking for additional seats, because then we can escalate that to space planning to help us identify locations.
Great. So families, you heard it from Dr. Hall's mouth. You need 3K seats, come here, tell us. Come here and say it. They're listening. We don't hear it, we don't know it. So you think there's a need, we want to hear it from you. Let us know. So we're going to move along. We have Dr. Benoit also here. Of course, we have to say hi to her, who did a great job last month presenting on behalf of Dr. Blake. Dr. Benoit, you can unmute this time and say really quickly hi.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy first day of school. I just want to echo what everyone said in terms of, we as a district team are ready and up for a wonderful and productive 24-25. So as was shared, many of us went to schools and supported all of our sites this morning, and we'll do the same again tomorrow. But I went to a few sites this morning, and I really wanted to lift up the cafeteria staff or cafeteria crew at MS217 because of issues in the kitchen at PS117. They have been preparing lunch for both schools, MS217 and PS117. So I wanted to shout them out today because they are all, some of our unsung heroes. And it takes all of us to ensure that schools are ready, schools are welcoming environments, and schools, provide for the needs of all of our students. So, that's what I wanted to say. And I look forward to deepening our partnership with the CEC this year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And a strong communication and partnership with the district office, the CEC, and the parents community, it's a win-win for us all. And I think, like I always say, we are partners in this. And thank you for your partnership, Dr. Benoit and Dr. Blake and your entire team. It's so good to see so many of the district team members, leaders are here, and families, you should know who they are. These are the people who are leading the work in our district under the directions of Dr. Blake. So I'm happy to see all of you here. Thank you. Our next push is to make sure we get more principals on board with us here as well at our meeting. So we're going to work on that, Dr. Blake. We're definitely going to do a good job. So my dear friends, we're going to move along with our schedule tonight. We have two resolutions that was presented and it was sent to the community for viewing in our announcements. These resolutions were sponsored by one of them by Quentin Messetin, our first vice president, and the second one was sponsored by Simone Dornbach, Quentin Messetin, and Tanya Wendt, and they will briefly go over their resolutions one at a time. After Quentin go over his resolution, then the community, you, the public, gets a chance, and the public who's here, you get a chance to give feedback or make remarks about this specific resolution. So we'll ask you to raise your hand and really bring remarks or give feedback on this specific resolution, and then we'll vote. The council will vote on that resolution after. Then we move to our second resolution, and again, you get a chance to make a comment on topic on that second resolution. And then we'll move forward to vote on that second resolution. So at this point in time, we'll invite Quentin Messetin, our first vice president, to really discuss and to share. We should have the share on the screen, please. Can we have that resolution to share on the screen as well? The first one is called Opposing District 2 Manhattan High School Admission Priorities. No, it's called Resolution to Advocate for the Revision of the Foundation Aid Formula to Equitably Support Students with Disabilities. You have it there? You have to share it. Okay, share it right here. So you can start talking about while you share it.
All right. So the title is the resolution to advocate for the, hold on. Let me see. So I got to share screen, right? Yes. Hold on 1 second. Okay. And boom. Share. A little bigger for you guys. There you go. Okay. So this was emailed to everybody, correct? Awesome. All right, so I'm going to sum it up. So the resolution, this is the resolution to advocate for the revision of the foundation aid formula to equitably support students with disabilities. So the current foundation aid formula weights all students with disabilities equally, regardless of their classification or the number of services they require. This uniform weighting means that a child who only needs a speech therapist is funded at the same level as a child who requires multiple services like speech, occupational therapy, physical therapy, counseling, and a one-on-one paraprofessional. So this funding approach creates significant challenges for students in the hiring of necessary staff to serve our students with disabilities, leading to massive caseloads for existing service providers and prolonged vacancies in special education positions. So we already see the issue. Now, resolved, resolved is Community Education Council of District 28. We're calling on the mayor, the governor, the New York City Department of Education, state legislators, and for them to prioritize the revision of this foundation aid to support all students. Any modifications to this aid formula should include safeguards that maintain flexibility in the funding allocations, allowing schools to address the specific needs of their students while ensuring that those with higher needs receive adequate resources. And yeah, we're taking this all the way up to our highest leaders in our state to ensure that every public school receives the funding necessary to prepare all students for success, thereby securing a just and prosperous future for all New York scholars.
Thank you, Quentin. So at this point in time, are there anyone who is anyone who have any comments or feedback on this specific resolution? At this point in time, you can raise your hand. It's a raise hand feature, so we can see you. So we have one here that, please go to the screen there, and you can speak from the directly there. There you go. Is it unmuted? 1 second. So just unmute that there. Again, please raise your hand if you would like to make a comment specifically on this topic. Please say your name and go ahead. Go for it.
Hi, good evening. My name is Venus. You all know me. My question and comment is one, this resolution was discussed at prior meetings and the council agreed to bring this up for presentation based on other districts that are also aligning with this resolution. Is it something new or something old? You know, in the DOE resolutions, they could be in their system for like 20 years. And when are they going to reach this one? But I just wanted to make a comment. Special education is my second most passion after education, being a special educator for going on 20 years now, supporting students with IEPs. We want to ensure that in the resolution and the conversation that we're discussing checks and balances. I was just having a conversation about funding and how funding is allocated, and there's a lot of money in the budget for special education services, but it's not trickling down to the students. So before we're asking for more or a change of the formula, we have to find a way of tracking and holding accountable, you know, the current funding, making sure that services are being logged, that parents are being informed the services are being received, and how are parents empowered to track services, because a lot of times the money is there and it's just not being used for the specific needs of specific children, and the parents don't even know that it's not happening because they don't know to ask. When my son was in elementary school, I asked for his guidance counselor to document every time she saw my son, because sometimes she would be at a PD or she would be absent, so that those services could be made up. And a lot of the times they were never made up, including in 2020 when services were owed to families. So we want to make sure that checks and balances are in place and included in the conversation, because we don't want to be getting more money and it's still not going to our highest need students. So I just want to bring that.
So we'll give Quentin a chance to answer your question about if it's a standalone resolution or if it was being talked about by the council. Quentin?
Yes. Thank you for that, Vanessa. You just told me.
Venus.
I said Vanessa. Venus. Oh, see? I'm sorry. But no, so back to focus. So yes, this was a conversation that I was part of at the Rockefeller Aid Foundation with the representatives for the foundation aid. And it was something that was brought up at the D75 Legislative Council meeting. And it was something that I brought up as a resolution here, just because I want to not only pass it here, but also to bring it to support other districts as something that we can all pull together to kind of invoke this change and then call on our leaders to kind of make the impact. No problem.
Thanks so much, Quentin. So I see Whitney Toussaint is on, and she's gonna bring remarks or a question on this specific resolution. Whitney, I'm asking you to unmute.
Hi, everybody. I want to first thank Quentin for writing this wonderful resolution. Meant to say so. Thank you, VJ, for introducing me. I also serve as the co-president in District 30. So we are CEC Queens members together. But again, I want to thank Quentin for this wonderful resolution. I think it's really great. It definitely will help us get more funding for our children who have special education services. I'm the IEP parent on my CEC, and this resolution was very well written. It's very great. I really hope that you also submit it to the Rockefeller Foundation, because they're still taking comments until September 5th. So I just really wanted to call in and support this resolution, and thank you so much for writing it. And I encourage everyone, if you haven't already, send some comments into the Rockefeller Foundation. I know the link is out there. I could put it in the chat too. And if you want to use Quentin's resolution as your own attachment and send it to them as well, so they can get these comments from us, not just from the CEC, but from parents, and they need to hear from us. And I really can't thank you enough for writing this. So I hope that it passes this evening, and thank you so much for all that you do. And
You all are amazing because I don't know how you pulled off having your meeting the same night as the first day of school. So congratulations to you all. Thank you so much.
Because we're the grade 28, Whitney. So Whitney Toussaint is one of our wonderful partners. She's been a CC, she was before and now co-president of CC30, who does a lot of work, and Whitney's passionate and does so much amazing things. Whitney, thank you for the cornmeal that you had brought. Thank you at our last meeting. For the first time I had it. Thank you. So at this point in time, we're gonna have a roll call. I'm going to ask our recording secretary to do a roll call on this specific resolution to council members. You are voting in favor or against this resolution here, that we have here. So,
Okay. First Vice President, Quentin Mezzatton.
Yes.
Second Vice President, Yutao Chang.
excuse.
Recording Secretary, Natifa Lewis. Yes. Treasurer, Tanya Wendt.
4, yes.
Member, Julissa.
Yes.
Member, Luzal.
Yes.
Member, Nurun Swapna.
Yes.
Member, GK Kalyanaram. Oh, hold on, let me try to get you, GK.
Okay.
Try it.
Yes, in favor.
Member Paquita Williams.
Yes.
Member Simone Dunbar.
Yes.
Member Lauren Clavin.
Yes.
President Vijay Ramjatan.
Yes.
Okay, so it passes unanimously with the members here. I told myself, I did.
Sure. So the resolution passed unanimously. Today is 9/5/2024. And what happens with these resolutions is they are sent to the Department of Education, to New York City Public Schools. And one good thing that's been happening in this school cycle last year and this year is, because we had requested this, is the Chancellor's team has been responding to our resolutions. And I want to thank FACE for doing that, for really making a push and making sure that a lot of time and effort goes into writing these resolutions. We spend time voting on them, and we're happy to have a response from FACE and from the DOE. So also on our website, we'll post this resolution, and also we'll have a response when we get the response from them based on the resolution that they sent to us. And also in the past, or whatever ones we've had, they're also on our website, which is CEC28.org. Our wonderful administrative assistant, Dorinda Seamonger, will post that right down on our chat. And she will also post how you can be on our mailing list. So congratulations to you, Quentin. Your resolution was passed. And I wish that you continue your work as our member, a community member said, Venus said, that to really promote and to do the work, continue to work, to push resolutions across the city to have a greater impact, if that is your desire. Next resolution, I want to let the community know it's 7:50 p.m. You have 10 minutes more to sign up to speak. Write the word speak, and our abled team members, Tanya and Nuran, is working hard behind the scenes, checking your names. So our next resolution is sponsored by, the sponsors are Simone Dornbach, Quentin Mezzatton, and Tanya Wendt, and the name of the resolution is called Draft Resolution Opposing District 2/Manhattan High School Admission Priorities. So at this point in time, we'll ask one of the sponsors to please to speak on behalf of the resolution, and please share it on the screen. I would appreciate that.
Good evening again. So this resolution is, I cannot hear myself, sorry, I need to change. Okay, good. Okay. Thank you. And I'm also gonna share it here if you wanna open it up on your own screen while we're going through it. This is in response to plans from the DOE, from the New York City Public School, to reinstate a priority for Manhattan high schools, in particular for students in District 2. While we really never want to go against any other district or against any other borough, We here in Queens, and you just heard earlier, Dr. Blake, we are chronically overcrowded, especially our high schools. Some of our high schools are having double shifts, and our Queens students are forced to get out of the borough. And so in reinstating admissions priority for the borough of Manhattan will be really difficult for our Queens students, and therefore we have this resolution. And we are urging, especially with the class size law, we are urging the chancellor to revisit and reconsider his stated intent to grant geographic priority in high school admissions, and until the Office of Student Enrollment and the Office of District Planning can provide a detailed analysis of the impact of those changes in admissions to those who are dependent to move out of the borough and get high school seats. I was very brief.
I'll ask briefly, does any of the co-sponsors want to add, not co-sponsors, the other sponsors want to add anything that needs to be said? Tanya? Quentin? Okay. They said no. They shook their head no. Okay, so can we stop sharing for a second, please? One second. I got you. You got a chance. So let me get the public first, then I'll get you. So if there's anyone in the public here in the Zoom, we have one member of the council who also want to make a feedback. Is there any member of the public here and also via Zoom who wants to make a feedback? So I see Whitney hand went up. I saw Venus hand went up, and I saw Latifa and I saw Lou. So we're gonna have in that order, we'll have Whitney, we'll have Venus, Lou, and then Latifa. So Whitney, I'm gonna ask you to unmute, and please, if you try to keep it under 2 minutes, I appreciate that. Thank you. Whitney?
Will do. Thank you, VJ. I appreciate that. We are in District 30 passed a similar resolution, so we are very thankful that you at 28 are considering passing the same resolution or to fight for our students in Queens. We do think that there needs to be additional studies and information provided before this decision is made, because there are students in Queens that trek to Manhattan and other boroughs for school. And thank you for fighting for our students in Queens. And again, we are just asking that they do a study so that this does not disadvantage our scholars in Queens. Thank you so much. I hope the resolution passes.
Thank you so much, Whitney. And then I also saw Ari Feldman, so Ari will go after Latifa. So then we have Venus, please.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Yeah. Okay. I do. To add on to what Whitney just shared, which was kind of what my comment was going to be. Again, when I speak, it's to explain. I was talking to a principal today about translate, making sure it's in the language of the everyday parent. So families in Queens really need to understand and possibly rally behind this resolution, because Queens, I was just having a conversation with a friend about where Queens is located, and that the reason why I love living in Queens is because it's easily accessible to every borough. So Queens is the only borough that's accessible to every other borough, but traveling by public transportation, our children cannot make it to the Bronx in time for school unless they're driven. Manhattan is the easiest borough for them to access. So while I'm not a huge high school advocate, I want to make sure that our parents understand, with the limited number of seats in Queens high schools, we want to ensure that our children have options for seats that are traveling, makes sense travel-wise. So it's quicker to get to the city than it is to get to Brooklyn. Like I tried to get to Boys and Girls High School, I have to take the J train to the A train kind of through the city to get there. But I can get to 42nd Street in 35 to 40 minutes. So all parents of elementary school kids, middle school and high school kids, when it's your time to apply for high school, if you can't get a seat in the Queens borough, what school would your child go to? There's a lot of great options in the city, and them kind of blocking Queens out of that algorithm would leave us or leave you, because my son graduated from high school, to go into the Bronx or Brooklyn or Staten Island. So really learn about our borough and the traveling to different areas in New York City.
Venus, and that's Venus Ketchum. Thank you so much. And I want to say Venus has been here forever. When I first become part of the council way back in 2019, she was one of the people who welcomed me with, "Yay, welcome!" and so good. She was always in the third row in the middle. Get back that whole room, right? It was amazing. But Venus has always been around, just like Principal Signal, always, and Simone too. Used to always be here, always. Both of you. Well, you might encourage her now. Excellent. Next, we're gonna move to member Lu Zhao.
Okay, probably the sole voice to against this resolution. I support geographic priority, and no matter where the location is, I think our proudest school is real, a very daunting problem. But I think it should be resolved locally by building new school, by building new extension to the existing school. And in general, I think there are specialty schools that should open to the entire city, but in general, most of the students prefer a local, option, a short commute to their local school. So for Manhattan, I don't know if Manhattan is the only borough, but I think Manhattan is a borough that has no geographic priority at this point at all. So some kind of a borough priority for the kids in Manhattan, to give them a sense of, probability to travel short in their neighborhood to reach school, to a community school. I think that's a more solution, and I think we're not there, but I do think they deserve something we have we have here. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. Next we have Natifa Lewis, followed by Erica.
Hi. So I think this comes down to a question of the difference between equality and equity. And it's interesting that I speak after Lou, because I think on this council, we're two people who have students who are in District 2 schools. My daughter just started at LaGuardia High School, which is a specialized high school in District 2, along with many other specialized programs like A&D and so forth. But in addition to that, Manhattan is one of the boroughs that has transportation available any time of the day from multiple parts. It is a hub in many stations, and most of the District 2 schools are within that. I'm the mother of twins. My daughter, who is in the District 2 school, left home at 6:30 today and got back home shortly before I got here from Park. Students are coming from the Bronx, from Brooklyn, from everywhere else. Of course, there are some who are in the city, but within my daughter, who is in a school in Queens, they're both in two very large schools, had a similar commute. And she would, and as a matter of fact, my daughter who went to the District 2 school had a 1 train commute. My daughter who is in the school that may take me 15 minutes to drive had a 3 transfer commute. And this is where it becomes an equity issue. It's not about, well, you have it, so we should have it too, or they have it, so everyone should have it. It's a matter of making sure that one kid who can have a 45 commute to a District 2 school is not disenfranchised and having a 2-hour commute within their own borough. That's not equity. That's not giving them the same rights that the other people have. Thank you.
Thank you. Natifa, next, last comment will be by Ari Feldman. Ari, I'm asking you to unmute. 2 minutes, please.
Thanks. I'll be real quick because I think most people have said the things I was going to say. But I just wanted to point out again, Queens is just really hurt a lot by this policy. We have way too few. I don't know what the updated numbers were, but pre-COVID, there were something like 26,000 too few high school seats in Queens. And so we need to be able to have seats outside of Queens that are easy to get to. And District 2 is the easiest next district, which means that if kids are not able to go to District 2 schools, then they're going even further past District 2, you know, like an hour and a half commute. And as has been said before, there are lots of schools in District 2 for District 2 students. So it doesn't have to be the most exclusive schools that are just for kids in those neighborhoods. So thanks.
Thank you, Ari. And at this point in time, we'll move to our vote for the council. So Natifa, we'll ask our recording secretary to make the roll call to do our voting. Natifa, please.
Okay. First Vice President, Quentin Mezzatine.
Yes.
Second Vice President, Yutao Cheng, excused. Recording Secretary, Natifa Lewis, yes. Treasurer, Tanya Wendt.
Yes.
Member Julissa.
Yes.
Member Luzell.
No.
Member Nguyen Swapna.
Yes.
Member GK Kalyanaram.
Yes.
Member Paquita Williams.
Yes.
Member Simone Donbach.
Yes.
Member Lauren Clavin.
Yes.
So the resolution passed, sorry, President Vijay Ramjatan.
Yes.
So the resolution passes, 10 yes, 1 no, and 1 absent.
Okay, again, congratulations to Simone, Quentin, and Tanya on your resolution being passed in the council. Again, we'll advise you to really use this platform to educate and to build coalition if that's what you want to do, to really build momentum across the city, to further your resolution goals. Congratulations. Okay, at this point in time, I have to excuse myself to the public, and I apologize. I have a family emergency, so I have to leave. But of course, we have the wonderful Quentin Mezzatine here, who is our first vice president, and he will take over the next part in terms of the public comments and the calendar meeting, followed by our business meeting. So over to you, Mr. Vice President.
Yes. No problem. No problem. Yeah, we got this. All right. Well, you're with us. We're with you and your family in our prayers. And be safe. All right. Now we're gonna go through our council member reports. So we just started school today, so it shouldn't be that long. It should be very quick, and we can expedite this process. So, Latif, if you could just.
Okay, Vijay, did you have anything else, or you're okay? Okay. All right. Quentin, would you like to start with yours? Vice President?
Yes, I'm thinking that I'm back and we are here. School started great. I also have my 2 sons in D75. The bus came for one, the bus didn't come for the other one. However, I still got my son to school just so he could get home by the bus and we could have that conversation, which we did, and it's all clear. So I expect to see them tomorrow. I hope everyone else in D75 had a good busing experience. I think we started off on a good start. I didn't get too many things. Of course, we could always switch back on crossing guards. That I did get one of my liaison schools letting me know that they had no crossing guards, no police presence, and it was total chaos. So we are working on that. And other than that, I look forward to just finding out more about my schools and what are my schools. All right, all right. I am Queens Gateway. I am 161. The cool school that I didn't get to see yet in person. I am, which other ones? 175. I know the principals more than I know the school number. But outside of those, it's those 3. See, I've been going to so many 811 Q schools that I'm not the liaison for. So I kind of just been telling myself that I'm their liaison. But this year, I will be more precise on going to all my schools and not just the ones that I feel like I advocate the most for. So I apologize if I have not visited 2 of my schools this last year, but I will be at all my schools and we will have better communications outside of the SLT meetings and PTA meetings that I committed to.
Second Vice President, Tanya went? No, I'm sorry. You touch. Is that, I give you a promotion, Tanya. But we can go to Treasurer Tanya Went.
Hello, good evening. I will try to keep it brief because I know we're running late and it was the first day of school. I represent PS 220 with Principal Pizarro. I represent MS 287, which is Emerson with Principal Lau. And I also liaise for PS 332, which used to be Redwood, which then used to be the Magnet School of Leadership, and now it's LeadX, right? So it's changing its name. But with Principal Katan Brown, who was here earlier, but I don't know if she got to speak, and I'm not sure that she's still here. But yeah, shout out to yeah, everybody that made it to school on time. Shout out to all the teachers. Big round of applause for them and the principals and the admin. It's a huge responsibility. I don't think that teachers had a lot of time to prepare their classrooms this year. So thank you for getting in there and getting it done. Shout out also to Lynn Schulman, who showed up at PS 144 this morning just because, to say hi and just to shake hands and say hi. And yeah, please, Sonia dropped in the chat the trainings for PA and SLT and things like that. Please attend them if you're on those committees, and even if you're not, if you're interested in how things are supposed to work, especially on SLT, please educate yourself and get involved. You know, we had, test scores come out just recently for the state tests. Educate yourself on like, how did your school do and how did your child do? Whether or not you really put a lot of weight in those scores. I know sometimes it's, you take it with a grain of salt because you could have had a bad testing day, or your child just had to take a computerized test that they never had to take before because it always used to be on paper. So you could have a bad day, whatever, but, kind of educate yourself on how those scores were and how they look. And if you don't like the way they look, then ask some questions and get involved, right? I guess that's all I got. Thanks.
All right, thank you. I guess it's my turn. I'm recording secretary. So as you said, it is the first day of school. So there's not been a lot of engagements. It's also my son's 18th birthday. So it's an interesting thing. But two main topics that I've had in communication over the summer. The first being updates on capital funding. We're almost at the time for another round of capital requests. And we have not really received responses from the previous ones. PS 312 asks all the time, together with, they have joint requests with PS 40. I had conversation towards the end of the year with Mel's, and I also know PS 48 is looking for theirs. So those are some of my schools, as well as IS8 had some funding, but it was not from capital funding. So those are the questions that are coming up from my constituents, and the others that have come from more parents and so forth. And I think it was hinted to in the chat related to the Omni cards. So I believe that most schools got them within the day before school or so forth. And to be honest, depending on the size and staffing of the schools, some were able to distribute them today. Others were not. So there have been questions in terms of, is there some kind of a district-wide plans in terms of getting them out in a more equitable way? And just also, why did it have to wait till then? Like, couldn't there have been a process to have them ready for the students at the beginning of the school day, especially since around where it starts, it's the 5th of the month. So those are the two main issues I've had. Next, member Julissa.
Okay, it's working. I'll keep my comments brief because I also haven't been to my schools yet. It's PS 303, MS 217, your favorite. Yeah, I gotta see Principal Burns again. And what's my last one? 157, of course, where I went to Halsey. I feel lucky the principals don't seem to reach out to me asking for anything in particular, so I have to be more proactive and visit and see how I can help. I know I had conflicts with the SLT meeting for one of the schools because it was conflicting with my PA meeting at my school. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. So I want to try to listen in on some SLT meetings. But first day of school was frazzled for me as always this morning. Did not go well. Forgot a lot of things in my daughter's book bag. Hopefully you all had a smoother time in the district. But hopefully I have more news for you next time. Thanks.
Member Luzal?
Okay, so I want to bring everybody's attention to one thing. In the last CCHS meeting, the Queens South High School Superintendent, Dr. Van Ness, gave a presentation on the new math curriculum called Illuminative Math. And to be short, the result is not, initial result is not good. We understand, this Dr. Van Ness oversee most high school, all the high school in District 28, area. And also because this first cover is Algebra 1, so it will impact many middle school when they have honor program or region for all, program track. So, so this is a beginning of a new, teaching method. I actually spent quite some time to read through the curriculum. It's one thing I, we're very interested in. And let me say this, everybody love math, look at this curriculum, would love it. The concept, like the student to discover the solution, like inspire them, all those concepts, it's very good. It's not new though. I mean, when I was in high school, one of my math teacher actually used pretty much exactly the same way to teach. So I have some, personal experience with it. My prediction of this method is, unfortunately, I don't think it fits the broad system-wise adoption. The problem is this method not only highly requires the teacher. Teacher need to be trained. All this new, so they need to be trained. It's going to improve. That's true. It's very highly demanding for the teacher. It's also highly demanding for the student. And it will take much more time than the traditional, if you put it away, say, spoon-fed kind of teaching, it takes much more time and also requires students who very dedicated. Basically, it requires students on the train of thought. And if you are on it, it's great because you are discovering things, you know how to think, and you know how to solve problems. But once you fall off that train, it's very hard to jump back. And even worse is because a specifically required teacher not correct student when they are doing wrong, because they want to learn from the what's going wrong. The problem is if the student lost focus during that process, the last impression on that student would actually be the wrong impression. So this thing, because I have a personal experience on my own, I also try to use the same way to teach my son. So I have some experience in the past. There's I would say very mixed, even for very high performance students. Because when I was in high school, that class is very high performing class. All the top students still kind of half. So I think in our system, more than half of the students are failing math. It's not like the question is more on the fundamental. So I would rather, we have a more diverse way of teaching. So let the teacher, give the teacher some flexibility. So for situations that the teacher need to use more traditional way to teach, memorization or, you call it the spoon-fed, teaching, if it helps build the foundation, use it, right? Don't shy away from those things like it's so bad, it's so traditional. And, for some situation, maybe this is good. Again, everybody love math, would love it. if student can follow through. So this is my take on it. I don't think what I think carry that much weight, but I think I want to bring everybody's attention to it because it's going to happen next year, every school, right? So if it's really going, unfortunately, to the to the route that I predict, I hope everybody take some action to try to pivot over, give it some pressure and pivot over. That's my take on this. I hope there are more come to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Nurun Swapna.
Good evening, everyone. Shout out to all of us for surviving the first day of school. It wasn't that bad, right? That's what I told myself too. So I am. It could have been worse. It could have been worse, but I feel like my kids were very excited to go back to school. And then we did, like, we like the teachers that we have, so they're happy. And I hope everyone had more or less good experience. And so I am responsible for school PS 121, Principal Pacholo, and PS 50, PS 55. And for like Julie was saying, it is the first day of school, so I also didn't get to visit my schools yet. And I'm looking forward to working with my schools and any parents that wants to reach out to me. Yeah, go special education.
Member GK Kalyanaraman. Are you on mute? Okay.
Good evening. I really don't have any report at all, short or long. I haven't visited any of my 3 schools. Today is the first day. I did get to visit them last year. And as an addition, I visited 196, a wonderful graduation in May, but summer has been, in June, I'm sorry. Summer has been fallow, and I hope to engage and communicate with the schools in the next month or so. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Okay, thank you. Member Paquita Williams.
Hi, good evening. Okay, well, again, my name is Vicky Williams. I'm new to the committee. What I was talking about earlier was one of my children, the bus, one of my children, the bus didn't come. They didn't call. So I took him to school. It wasn't that bad, not too far away. So hopefully, I want to say tomorrow, but I'm going to give it next week. I'll give it next week. So again, I'm new to the committee. I am, thank you again. Thank you. I'm so excited. I'm the liaison for, I think it's PS 196, which is in Kew Gardens. So, and yes. Thank you. I got that. Yeah. So also PS 99, again in Kew Gardens. And to my understanding, there's something that's going on at 99. They want to go from K6 to K5. Again, I'm new. I'll look into it as soon as I get the AOK as far as being introduced to the principals and the school. Also, I'm the liaison for PS 80, which is right in my backyard. So I just want to share that on Monday, they have a back to school with Santa that I was invited to from the parent coordinator, Miss Valerie Bird. And this is an event sponsored by Adrian Adams and Melissa Katz. So I'll show up, and I want to thank also Valerie Bird, the parent coordinator, and the principal, Miss McShane. Hi. So that's it. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Williams. And right next to you, member Simone Dunbar.
1 second. I'm gonna do this. Good evening. So I have a few things to say. My partner schools are PS, I bet with numbers, 190 Russell Sage, YECA, the York Early College Academy, and MS72 Count Basie Middle School. I haven't visited any of them because it just started, but I hope that in September it's slowly starting and that I can visit the SLT meetings. They're always fun from all 3 schools. I wanted to raise some questions in regard to the state exams, and I know that some of the schools didn't do as well as they used to do in the past, and I believe these were also the schools that started introducing the computer-based testing for all. And I have raised that concern of parents before, that children do not know how to type. And so I want to bring up this concern, since 4th graders will have to use the computer this school year for the state test in ELA and in math. I also want to just raise again the concern that these are children who started their kindergarten year during the pandemic, in the first pandemic year in September. And I just urge our district, I know that you have started to have a committee. I urge you to take this seriously because there are so many issues at hand. So many families don't have access to computers. They cannot teach their children at home how to type. Some don't have wireless so that they cannot use the program. It's little children. I personally, but this is my personal opinion, think that every school should be supported in teaching children how to type. Just like we teach children how to write numbers before we test them, or how to write their names before we test them, we need to teach them how to type. I also think, since this is rolled out in the entire state, so this is not the responsibility of the district, it's really a responsibility that goes high up, but I hope that you can escalate this, that this is taken seriously, because these are our kids and they're being stressed, and we're gonna have a lot of stress too. And I really rather want to be supportive and not having to sit at home with my daughter. I will make the time, but I do know that there are parents who may not have the time to do that. So I urge the district again, please, please, please look into this, how we can support the schools and the teachers in helping the children learn how to type. And of course, I don't know if there's a correlation between the test results and the computer-based testing. That is something one may want to look into it, but there's a chance. The class size committee, we want to really start hitting the ground as soon as possible. We haven't found a date yet, but we want to meet soon. And we also want to invite our community to join the committee as a member. The intent really is that we find a solution for our district specifically, because we are very big, we are very overcrowded, we need unique solutions, and what the DOE tells us may not be applicable, or may not be not applicable. It might be very hard to implement. We have a wonderful relationship with our district, and so we have approached them, letting them know that we intend to collaborate with them or offering our help. And I really hope that it sounded like the district is very open to working with us, and maybe even becoming part of the committee. And I'm very thankful for that. Few events. Somebody mentioned that in the chat. Jessica, I think you did, and I'm going to drop it again. The free family film night from Queensborough Hall. It's this Saturday at 7 p.m. behind the lawn, on the lawn behind the Queensborough Hall. It's open to the public. You don't have to RSVP. You can just show up and have fun. Very important, there will be a Queens High School fair on Monday, September 30th from 5 to 9 p.m. at Queensborough Hall. I will post the link to RSVP in the chat, and I also want to raise your attention to an event that is being organized by 4 equity teams of 4 elementary schools. That's PS 175, PS 144, PS 196, and PS 303. It is on Saturday, September 28th from 1 to 4 p.m. in Forest Hills. And I will also post a link so that you can RSVP. And we hope that we can see many families and many community members. And that's from my side. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Simone. And last but not least, Member Lauren Clavin.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Are we good? Okay. Welcome back, everybody. I want to send everyone love and strength and patience if you need it on the first day. My liaison schools, this is only my second meeting, so I haven't had a chance to meet with my schools, but I very much am looking forward to that. They are 349, the Magnet School for Leadership and Excellence, PS 86, and Young Women's Leadership, MS 896. So if there's anyone on here that represents those school communities, hello, I'm here. I'm looking forward to working with you and supporting you in any way that you need. And I just want to raise one more thing. There was a news story going around about a council member in District 2 that has become infamous for her views on, lately it's anti-trans, keeping trans kids out of sports, not wanting to integrate our schools. And I bring this up because she was removed from the council and now temporarily reinstated. And at the same time, another council member in a different council was removed and has not been reinstated. And I bring this up because what happens in these other councils affects us. It particularly affects us as parent leaders, but it affects all of our communities, because inevitably in any space where people congregate, harm is going to be done. And we need to have appropriate mechanisms to address that harm and make repair. And we as council members deserve to be protected from harm. And we deserve to be safe. We deserve to have our children, our identities, our homes kept from the public, because this particular council member that I'm speaking about has experienced a lot of violence that she absolutely does not deserve. So I really hope that this can be resolved. I publicly want to state that I'm incredibly disappointed by the chancellor's response in all of this. And I think it highlights once again the need to revisit mayoral control, because there are not the appropriate checks and balances that we need, even for our basic safety. And again, this is a volunteer position. and we deserve to have our privacy and our safety. So we love you, Taj, and I'm so sorry that we haven't been able to protect you in the way that you need to be. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So we're gonna take our public comments, and you have up to 2 minutes, and please do not feel that you have to take 2 minutes. You can do 30 seconds. We do not mind. We are not forcing you to do 2 minutes. So right now, we're gonna go off the people who showed up, and then we're gonna take turns. So we have Shirley Aubin. Do you wanna? You kind of, oh, you good? All right, all right. No problem, no problem. So we're gonna, Vanessa. I mean, Vinny. No, it says Vanessa. Okay, it says Vanessa. It says Vanessa #1. That's what I was looking at. So I'm going back and forth. Yes. Yeah, I'm about to say, I know, I'm not crazy. So, okay, so Vanessa Sparks. Hmm? No, well, when she talks.
Yeah.
Is she here? Vanessa? Oh, she can't unmute.
Yes, and now I'm able to unmute. Good evening, CEC28. Welcome back. First day of school year 2024-25. I hope things went smoothly for all of you today. And I'm praying that all of us have a very, very good school year. So I bring greetings from Community Board 12 on behalf of Community Board Chairperson, the Reverend Carlene Thorbs, and Community Board 12 Education Committee Chair, Latoya LeGrand. Just really quick, I want to make two very quick announcements. The first announcement is the Borough President Donovan Richards will be meeting with all of the community board chairs in the borough sometime this month, along with the School Construction Authority. So Reverend Thorbs is requesting that any school that is in Community Board 12, and that would be in the areas of Jamaica, South Jamaica, to reach out to, reach out to Community Board 12 if you have any concerns or any desires as it relates to the School Construction Authority and or school facilities. I'm going to put in the chat the telephone number and email address for Community Board 12. So I know there were some principals that are in Community Board 12. Again, that represents the communities of Jamaica, South Jamaica, Hollis, St. Albans, Addersley Park, and a small slither of South Ozone Park. So if you are a principal, Community Board 12 wants to hear from you. As our borough president, Donovan Richards, will meet with all of the community board chairs. So if you are not in Community Board 12, whatever community board you're in, I encourage you to reach out to them to make known your concerns as it relates to school construction at your school when they meet later on this month. And lastly, this is I guess it's a non-education note, but it's I think it's very important. Community Board 12, in collaboration with the SUNY Queens Educational Opportunity Center, will be hosting an MTA career information session on Saturday, September 21st at the SUNY EOC Center located at 15809 Archer Avenue. There will be representatives from the MTA, from Bridges and Toll, from the Long Island Railroad, Metro North, talk about careers in everything, including healthcare, construction and design, IT, as well as those traditional MTA careers. So I will drop that information in the chat. And I just want to shout out to my two alma maters because I've heard them Public School 144 and Russell Sage Junior High School. I want all of you guys to have a great school year. Thank you.
Yes, please drop that in the chat. That was very informative. Right. Next, we have Venus.
Good evening. Let me watch that time. I gotta get it all in the time today. I got a lot to talk to y'all about. Okay, good. I want to make sure that CECs across the city are fun and interactive, the meeting, so that we can retain parents on our Zooms and on our calls and have them come back into the building. So I want to start off with like a little funny joke with, oh my God, I forgot it. Whose group is that? Who sings that song? Da, 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 da. So they have another song called Let's Talk About Schools. I want to make sure that all CECs, especially Queen, are talking about schools, and we're talking about data. I'm so glad that I got Dr. Blake to come in person when I saw him at a special education workshop last week. I want to request that Dr. Hall send me personally the aggregated data. Superintendent Sardui, Superintendent Folksfry used to give out this big packet to the CEC with all the aggregated data, with the school-specific data, the district-wide data. We need to discuss that and dive deep into that. So I'm requesting it publicly, so you can email it to me or put it on the website. I haven't gotten it in the past 4 or 5 years. So let's make that happen again with a packet of the aggregated data. We got to keep our eyes on PS 160 and the extension, so we make sure that Success Academy doesn't take that school over, or any charter school doesn't take that new extension over at PS 160. And I want to discuss District 75 programs across the district, P4, P224, P993 at MS72, the inclusion program at PS 161, P75 at PS 48. We really have to dive deep into what those specific District 75 programs mean. What do they offer to our families in our district? So again, let's talk about schools, baby. All CECs from 24 to 30. I want to make sure that we're asking the difficult questions and we're looking at the numbers and we're coming up with concrete plans. And a dyslexia parent group starting at PS 303. There's some parents who are concerned about their children with dyslexia. So the mayor had that big push last year. What's the follow-up about reading and literacy, and not just Acadians, but specific remedial programs for our kids who are struggling from K to 8.
Thank you. All right, next we have Jessica Zillow. Jessica.
Hi, I was sorry. I was having trouble unmuting. I actually won't take too long. I hope everybody had a great first day of school. The Metropolitan Educational Campus had issues this morning. We were lacking school safety agents. Evidently, there were not enough school safety agents. There's actually a D75 program, Queens Metro and Mel's, all on campus, and they all share school safety agents. I think there was 2 when I showed up in the morning, and one school safety agent came at the last minute. That is not enough school safety agents for the campus. That's terrible. I don't know if there was a school safety agent issue, but obviously we need more school safety agents, and I would love to know how school safety agents are allocated across the district. I had a lot of parents complain about OPT because busing wasn't available, and they didn't know when or where to get their buses. And again, Metro cards were not handed out, and so some parents did not know about the new Metro cards or how they were supposed to get them, especially 6th graders, right? Or if you're a transfer into the school. So overall, it was a pretty rocky start at Metropolitan. So I just want to put that out there that we need some help at that school, and hopefully our liaison will be able to come and help us address some of the issues that we're seeing. And I hope the rest of the school year goes better.
It will. Thank you. All right, next we have Charlene Benny.
No, Chair, I'm gonna break it. All right. Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Charlene O'Benny. I stand here before you today as a parent. Formerly, I was part of the Community Board 12 Education Committee, and I'm no longer in that role. I aged out of my time and also led the Health Committee as well. So I stand before you this evening as a parent that's deeply concerned. So I heard each of the designated individuals talk about their designation in terms of their role on the council and where they're going to be serving. I didn't hear anyone talk about our youngest, tiniest babies in CPSE. My daughter, Sophia Michelle, has been without services for the majority of the school year. I had to take the DOE to court in order to get her mandated services, and even today, I reached out and she still does not have her assigned speech services. What is being done and who is looking at our tiniest district people? Who was assigned to that? Who do we reach out to? I keep being told that they're sending emails, they're asking for providers, but we know that this is a process. We started early on with early intervention. We went through that process. We got extended time until August, and we were told that everything will be put into place. We had confidence in the DOE, and every step of the way they let us down. After figuring out that this was a concern that I had, I reached out to another individual who was also experiencing PTSD, same concerns. We don't have enough providers. So then I said, let me look further down into the data. What is it gonna look like when she enrolls into a district school? 25% of special education at my assigned district school is at ELA grade level. She hasn't had her services for the majority of the school year. How is she supposed to win? How is she supposed to thrive? How is she supposed to meet the expectations that are going to be placed on her by her teachers, by her administrators, by her principal? So I employ us as a council, and now as a parent, I'm here in community with you all to figure out solutions on how we can support our tiniest district residents so that they can start off to a strong start and excel through our District 28 pipeline. Thank you.
Yes. Hold us accountable. Next, we have Natasha Diaz.
I can't unmute. Okay. Can you hear me? All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Natasha Diaz. I am the Queens Outreach Coordinator for the Civilian Complaint Review Board. So I'm here to introduce myself. I know it's the top of the school year. I am also a parent in CEC28. So I am excited to also be here and see everyone that's a part. This is actually my first meeting. I saw my principal, my daughter's principal was here earlier, Mr. Pichello, but he left, but super excited to be here. I'm introducing myself. I'm available to educate the public on the Civilian Complaint Review Board. For those of you that don't know, we are a city agency that investigates, and we're tasked with the difficult task of unbiasedly investigating NYPD. But I educate the public on their right to know. I educate the public on de-escalation. I educate the public on the Civilian Complaint Review Board, and just letting the public know that there's resources out there for them, city resources out there. So if anyone is interested in that information, I'm going to put my information in the chat, and you can reach out to me.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Next, we have Bruce, our UFT representative.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back from summer break. It's good to see you all. So Dr. Blake mentioned earlier that we had another great collaboration between the Community Superintendent's Office as well as the UFT, where we welcomed the new educators newly hired to our schools within District 28. And at that event, we offered advice. We shared all the supports that the superintendent's office has for our new educators, that our schools have, and that the UFT has for our new educators to help them get off to a really great start. And I visited schools over the past several days, saw some of those new educators, and they expressed to me how much they really appreciated it. So it's definitely something that we'll continue to do in the future. I also visited schools today on opening day, and I can say it was a great opening day. As parents have spoken here, CEC members, principals, everyone's excited. The educators are excited to be back. The students are excited to be back. Everyone's eager to have a great school year. And we're really looking forward to having an amazing school year. And I'm looking forward to continued collaboration with the superintendent's office, the CEC, and the community. So everyone have a great night and thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. And thanks for that end of the year meeting. That was really good, that party. Next, we have Ari.
Hello, everyone. Ari Ennis from New York State Senator Leroy Comrie's office.
Apologize, Feldman.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. Ari Ennis from New York State Senator Comrie's district office. I'm the Deputy Chief of Staff. I myself have 2 students in District 28. Both my children go to YECA. I had 2 separate drop-offs this morning, but we made it happen. One is at the college, one is at the campus at the school, but we did it. Everyone got on time. I just want to mention a couple events that we're going to be having and that I'm going to drop in the chat. We have the a couple back to school events we're still sponsoring. We did a lot of back to school events this August. We got to reach out to a lot of families. We partnered with a lot of churches and a lot of other elected officials to make sure that our families had more supplies and getting ready for back to school. There are a couple more coming up this weekend. I just dropped some things in the chat. We're partnered again with Congressman Meeks and Councilmember Williams. We're also doing a back to school with Morningstar. That's on Linden. On Merritt, close to Linden Boulevard. There's also the Jamaica 5K walk and run taking place at York College this month. Please, everyone, avail yourself of these events. There's the bike to something that's going on also on 9/7, I think, but soon. So please make sure we all get out to these wonderful events. The senator sends his regards. Just wanted to let everyone know, if there are any community issues, please reach out to our office. We've been getting a lot of calls about e-scooters and kids riding e-scooters, and that's really a concern with us. And we're reaching out to DOT to try to figure out how best to have corridors where the kids or people in general can't ride the scooters, more regulation, because it was kind of dropped into the neighborhood, dropped into the district without proper notification for everyone. But please reach out to our office, 718-765-6359, and we would love to hear your opinions and your voice in regards to this matter. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have, give me a second. Joanne Manuel. Oh, she did already. Beautiful. Ari Feldman.
Hi, everyone. I spoke earlier. Thank you so much.
Oh, she does want to speak. Oh, see,
Yes.
she was about to skip you. Sorry about
Thank
that.
you. No, I spoke earlier. Have a good night.
Okay, so we're good. Okay, cool. So Ari Feldman.
Hi, thanks everyone. And as everyone's already said, I hope everyone had a great first day of school, successful in whatever that means for you and your family. And I have a couple of different things I wanted to talk about. One is, so I am a member of the Community Board 6 Education Committee. Community Board 6 is Forest Hills, Rego Park. We have been talking about the, if you're not familiar, the Hidden Voices curricula. So during the de Blasio era, there was a whole bunch of money, like hundreds of millions of dollars that the city had set aside to create what they called then Mosaic, which was supposed to be like K-12 curriculum that was like culturally responsive. And that got canned with this administration, and they decided to do what was called Hidden Voices, which was basically a bunch of collections of what was supposed to be basically mini units. And the first couple of those have come out. And then since then, instead of creating mini units, they seem to have shortchanged us. And what has been coming out recently are biographies, so they're collections of biographies instead of actual lessons. And those biographies are not like grade level appropriate biographies. They're just like, here's a biography that a teacher can read and then try to create their own materials and do all the things that they would do in order to try to adapt it. So it seems like when there were literally hundreds of millions of dollars that were given for this, and now we are not seeing the fruit of that. And so we as a committee are concerned that we haven't seen those things coming out, and we would love to find out what is going on with that, and where did all of that money go that was supposed to be spent on making all of that. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, I know my time is up. I did want to just reiterate something that Simone said before. As a District 20 Action for Equity, we are co-sponsoring the Banned Books event later this month. She posted in the chat already, but thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you. And we have Whitney Tucson.
Hi, I did want to just come to the meeting again to say thank you for having me. I'm currently serving as the co-president of CEC30. I'm so glad I got to come to your meeting tonight, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who worked so hard on the resolutions that you passed this evening. I'm hopeful that this year we can all continue to work together. VJ has always been kind and invited me to events in District 28, and I know I'm in District 30, but I love coming over and visiting you all and coming to your meetings. So please feel free to come to District 30, our hybrid meetings as well, and any events that we have. We would love to see you because we are all in Queens. It was great seeing Shirley and Adriana, and we do share, the borough president. So if we all work together in Queens and show up for Queens and also go to these pet meetings together too, as Queens together, we can be Queens strong. So thank you so much. I don't want to take 2 minutes because I know y'all have a business meeting after this. Our meeting is September 9th. And again, like I said, I applaud y'all. Y'all really are the great 28 for having your meeting tonight, the same night as the first day of school. So have a great evening and thank you for having me.
Thank you for not taking up this whole 2 minutes either. All right, well, that is the end of our meeting. Thank you. I'm gonna throw in another back to school event for D75 that they're holding in Forest Hills. I will be at that event as well. But yes, that is our time tonight. We're about to go to our business meeting, and our business meeting you do not have to stay for. We thank all the principals and parents who stayed on the first day of school. You can feel free to leave, and we won't take it personal as we move to our business meeting, but you can stay and listen in. We just won't really be taking any questions or things like that. Oh, we do have one question. Oh, yes. At the beginning, someone mentioned that someone needs to cases reach out. Just wondering who can I reach to. Someone mentioned, oh, that. Yeah.
He has a 2.5-year-old. The new application period is starting this fall.
Okay.
So when the child is turning 3 next year, he hopefully will be okay.
Okay.
Vacation period for everyone like last year. And I don't know if it was last year at the end of the year or at the beginning of this year, but with this current school year, the application period
Is done for this year.
Yeah. You can probably send an email and we can follow up with the.
Yes. Send us an email. Go to our website, send us an email, and we'll definitely follow up with you. And with that, have a good night, everyone.
Move
Thank
to,
you for-
to adjourn the meeting.
Oh, yes. Wait, we need the Spanish interpreter, correct? Spanish interpreter. That's the anything from the Spanish interpreter today this evening?
So far, no, there isn't anyone. Thank you.
Okay, and Sonia.
Good evening, Quentin. I think I saw a Spanish interpreter that had a question. They can reach out to me. I put my name and my email in the chat regarding a 3K seat. I can always, point them in the right direction. And also the parent that had a question regarding CPSE, even though it's not our department, I'd be more than willing to kind of help navigate wherever they're stuck. So I know that parent was in person, so I didn't hear their name. So just let them know
Her
my
name is
name.
Charlene, and we got her information and we'll send it to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Listo.
Now we go through the
Intérprete que tenía
adjourning.
una pregunta.
So I adjourned their meeting.
Entonces, bueno, vamos a
Move to
levantar
adjourn this meeting.
moción para terminar para levantar esta
Any
sesión.
thirds? All right, we're
La segundo, la
adjourned. Thank
tercero,
you
listo.
again. Have a
Levantamos la
great
sesión
night.
de calendario. Gracias a todos.
9/11, we're starting back. And Latifa, we take attendance.
President Vijay Ram Jackson, excuse. First Vice President Quentin Messerson. Second Vice President Utah Cheng. Was Utah able to join? No. Excuse Recording Secretary Natifa Lewis, I'm here. Treasurer Tanya Wentz. Member Julie Sir. Julie. Excuse. Member Luzau.
Here.
Member Narun Sakna.
Here.
Member GK Kalyanaro.
Yeah.
Member Peter Williams. Member Simone Dunbar. And member Lauren Clavitt.
Here.
Great, thank you. All right, first on our agenda is the absentee forms. So we have forms from July for Lou and for Simone. They were both away, and I approve these absences. And we don't have to vote on these, correct? Or we do?
I think, yeah, I think it's just no objection. Then it's
No,
fine.
are there any objections?
No.
No, all right, so these are excused. And today, Utah had a emergency, and it was a very, very important family emergency, and his absence is excused as well.
Did he submit a form?
Not yet. He
Oh,
is submitting.
you can deal with it.
We can do it next time?
Wait,
Okay.
let me see.
One of the months, I think.
What about July?
Oh, so it's August?
So he just did for July. Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, we did the August. We didn't do the July. I like went ahead and I didn't go backwards.
Yeah.
Remote's okay.
Yeah.
You was there.
Yes.
Yes.
Lorenz as well, because she was remote, she sent the form in.
Oh. So does anyone have any objections to Maroon's virtual
No.
appearance?
No, but I think that's what he was saying. He did it on the same day.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that was same July?
No, it's this one.
August. Okay.
Remember, we're in September.
Yes. So yeah, I thought we went through. So, but we there are no objections to your virtual. It's gonna go. No problem. Next council member goals and expectations. I was speaking with VJ, and it was pretty much we are the liaisons for our schools. And one of the comments that came up in several chats were that the schools don't know who we are. Some of us aren't visiting our schools. Now, for whatever reasons those are, we chose to be this position. We are volunteers, but we still chose to be here. So if you need support, it's like ask other council members, but let's try to visit and build a relationship with each of our schools that we are liaisons for, so we can actually understand what's going on. And our 2-minute reports can be about the schools that we're liaisoning, if that's a word, just because it'll give us more impact of what's going on in our community. For instance, there was a emergency meeting that I was called to, but it was GK school. And then I was able to call GK, and I was able to go in person, and he was able to join virtually, and we were able to help a parent advocate for his son at the school. And our next appointment is November 4th for that same meeting. And it was just like we were able to work together and just like share resources pretty much. I can go in person, he could be on virtual, and we got a lot of impact, and the parent was very happy that he was represented by the CEC. And just like that, if there's anybody that needs help, just throw it in the chat, throw it in the email, and I'm pretty sure somebody else can help all of us build the relationship we need with our schools. And that just should be a goal for all of us, so we can get more schools to invite us to their graduations and be on their SLTs and different things that encourage the impact and support that we have. And is there anything that anybody wants to add of things we can do or have goals as CEC members?
One thing I would say for last year, the school I had the least contact with was Mel's. And I do know there's some issue that is coming up right now. I mean, I don't know what anybody's bandwidth is. If anyone else is able to do that and wants to take over that school, that is one thing. I have no issue in terms of the relationship. It's just in terms of bandwidth. I do have 5 schools, so
I'd be happy.
For Mel's?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't mind, supporting or being, like as Quentin said, like a second person, but my timing was just so crazy from last year, and that is still working itself out. So I just know and the interesting thing with Mel's, which you've now become versed in, Quentin, is that it's a 6 to 12 school on a shared campus. So strategically it fits under the high school superintendent, but they do have 6 to 8, so there are issues that do affect us, and which I think also sometimes affects who they reach out to or what they think is your issue. So sometimes you hear about issues a little bit later than you need to.
Yes. And now that, if any of you guys don't know, I'm also the treasurer on Queens High School's President's Council. So that's something that I've been running into, just like Nativa mentioned, more superintendents and different people that we have to get in touch with. However, we will figure it out, and we got this. But okay, thank you. So the next, the face check-in and time dates. So we have our face representatives here, so we can all set a time if we want to do it now, or just start putting dates out there that could work for us to kind of meet to do should we do monthly check-ins? Yeah, monthly check-ins. I don't think weekly check-ins are really that necessary, but like a monthly check-in, if you guys want to like come together and just see what Face is up to and what like support we can get from them. Is that something that everybody's okay to do?
Yeah, I think monthly. So I think the big issue is just what day and when in the month.
I can't do Wednesday.
No Wednesday.
School all day.
Would you be able to give us like some dates in the month that are just like?
I can give you dates. I really work around your schedule, right? As many of us can meet, that's fine too. We definitely always report our check-ins and then we can watch them. Just to check and see how things are going, any resources that we can provide to you,
So I work around this thing. So if it could be monthly, could be bi-weekly. I would prefer to be bi-weekly. You can check it if needed. How we can president, or we can count all based on the feelings for that one.
Honestly, for me, I would prefer monthly at this point in time. Like when we were in the height of the pandemic and there was a lot more uncertainty or so forth, the bi-weeklies work because we needed to have that. Now, as like we're trying to go physically in person to the things, there's just so many hours in the park. And just also on a personal note, I don't know what other people's times are. Like Noreen said, she's not available Wednesday. For me, ideally, Thursday is the best day because in terms of weekly commitments, I've kind of freed it a little bit because like I have this meeting here. So like I wouldn't mind if it was like a third Thursday or something like that. But yeah.
Is it during the business like day or what time are we discussing? Because I don't know what your hours are as well. So do you prefer something that's during the day or is it something? Right. Yeah.
It's up to you, right?
Okay. So you're flexible.
Even I was gonna
Oh, definitely.
Should we try to like lock in a September date now, or is it like that's crazy? That's not possible. Just get the ball rolling, or it's like no, don't do this.
So we could, if everybody knows, we could kind of get some dates up by next week, and then just like we have time, we have a lot of weeks. The 1 second, hold on, I gotta get Paquita. Like we're having all this conversation.
She's
Awesome.
Yes.
Got you. So next,
I'm gonna get some of the table. So people
no problem. So our October, January, and June meeting dates landed on holidays. So today we just want to confirm the dates that we will be having our meetings, not to conflict with any other potential.
Can we add November to that?
Yes.
Because it's falling on the elementary parent-teacher conference. Okay.
November is added, Lauren. High school. We're gonna start with October. Start with October and then just go up. No, we're gonna go. We're gonna have that conversation. So October was the 3rd. Is everyone looking at the following Thursday? The 10th?
Yes.
So we move October 3rd.
It is a holiday for the school. Schools are closed on October 3rd and 4th.
It's a
high holiday.
out there because this month is my son's birthday. If it was the 9th, it would be my daughter's birthday. There's the 9th. There's the 9th.
Okay. So
That's it. It's like one.
now, as Lauren brought up, we have November 7th. So that's our meeting date that's in there right now. But Lauren, you said it was what day?
Elementary conferences, the 7th.
We had it last year as well.
That's when we did it.
Because it has always been hitting the elementary school on this Thursday.
Oh.
So if we do it this year, I mean, I don't know.
Who's gonna come
Next year.
Was attendance really low that last year?
It was.
Okay, parents are upset about it, but we also have middle school parents, so.
Yeah. I mean, in a case where, to me, it's since our regular meeting date is in there, if we move in between two conflict dates, I would vote to leave it where it is.
Somebody's not gonna be happy either way.
Yeah, I think what had happened the previous year was it also conflicted with Diwali. When is Diwali this year?
We have off on the 11th of November.
11th is Veterans Day.
Sorry, we have Diwali off this year. November 1st, sorry, November 1st.
Right, so it has fallen on Diwali before, which was one. So we had actually moved it or had an abbreviated meeting because of that. Okay, so this time it doesn't affect.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I'd vote to move to leave it because it is not falling on a free day anyway.
And I mean, I know that we don't want to miss conferences. I don't want to miss conferences. I didn't want to even come tonight because of the first day of school. It's hard to miss your kid's first day of school. They're coming home, didn't see me all day, right? But with parent teacher conferences also, sometimes they're like 5-minute meetings. So it's like, yeah, I'm a CEC member. I can't be there. Can I schedule some other time with you? It's not ideal, but it's just us.
And you have the
I guess you're worried
afternoon
about
one.
parents not joining the
Oh,
call.
it did.
But
I didn't even know it because I didn't look at the calendar. It was a principal said that, the principals wouldn't be able to come.
right,
But then the following week, middle school principals would be similar.
right.
So I think Nancy's right. If we're going to, we might as well just leave it where it is. That's what I think.
Okay,
So apologies for bringing it up.
So we're gonna.
No, it needed to be brought up.
So keep
Yeah, I couldn't remember that.
someone, but they're gonna complain regardless. What
So did we decide on November?
no problem.
We're leaving.
So we're gonna just leave the 7th.
Are we moving the third to the 10th?
Yeah, so we have to vote on this?
Yes.
Yes, so let's do a vote. For October 3rd to October 10th. Yes.
So I personally can't be there that night. I just realized on the 10th.
Okay.
I'll be in a wedding, so.
So I make a motion to move the October 3rd meeting to October 10th because it is a holiday, a high holiday at that. Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Okay, seconded by Tanya. Okay, first Vice President, Quentin Middleton. Second Vice President, Utah Cheng, excused. Recording Secretary, Nicola Lewis, yes. Treasurer, Tanya Went. Member, Julissa, excused. Member Luzao.
Yes.
Member Maroon Swapna. Member Kiki Kalinara.
Yes.
Member Paquita Williams.
Yes.
Member Simone Domba.
Yes.
Member Lauren Clappin.
Yes, unfortunately, I won't be there.
Okay, and President Jerome Jackson excused. Okay, so it's unanimously passed by those present.
January 2nd.
What happened with November?
Oh, wait, we're not changing November, correct? We're just leaving it.
Yeah.
So no change.
Yeah.
No change.
We have
January 2nd, 2025, which is a Thursday.
And what was the reason for January 2nd again?
I'm not exact right now.
No, January 2nd is because it's January 1st.
Because it is January 2nd, that's the reason.
Making a motion. Somebody want to move it?
I don't. The reason why is because we always say we will, and we're never ready with our capital planning, and it's always due literally the next week or so forth. So a lot of times we end up either having to do a special meeting or something because of that. It's not ideal. It's the first day back, but I suggest leaving it.
Yeah.
So
Did I accidentally say that? Yeah, I think I accidentally said that in my initial email, but it's not a recess, so if no one's going to motion it.
what is June?
June.
Wait, June is each school is closed anniversary day.
We're not talking about every month.
Yeah, yeah.
We're just certain months had conflicts, so we're not doing it.
June 15th.
Eid/anniversary day schools are closed. Anybody corrected me on that one?
No.
Okay, so I make a motion to move the
June 5th
CEC meeting
until June 12th. Do I get a second?
Second.
No.
First Vice President Quentin Middleton. Second Vice President Utah Cheng, absent. Recording Secretary Nasiba Lewis, yes. Treasurer Tanya Went.
Yes.
Member Julissa, absent. Member Luzal.
Yes.
Member Nurun Swapna.
Yes.
Member GK Kalyanara.
Yes.
Member Keita Williams.
Yes.
Member Timothy Damba. Member Laura Clavitt.
Yes.
President BJ Ramjatan, absent.
All right. So that is the meeting dates that we want to cover. We just made those slight changes. Now we're gonna go over the budget modification.
Yes, and permission to let Dorinda chime in, as BJ likes to say,
Yes.
permission.
Yes. 100%.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, which has the budget. It's come to my attention. And again, Dorinda can speak a little bit more to this, but apparently we're going to be needing a little bit of extra money on e-cards. And as some of you've noticed tonight, we don't have enough working computers. Dorinda, can you speak a little bit to what we're seeing on the screen and what we're proposing?
Sure, Tana. So VJ wanted to bring up buying a computer this term, but that has nothing to do with the P card though. Just to add like a tech line, and he said every term we should have some money to buy new computers because these are really old, they don't work. I can't buy it from Staples, I can't buy it from anywhere else but Shop DOE. And the last time I checked, the cheapest computer was about $900. So I don't know if you guys want to do that this term or you want to just leave it off for another time when you have more money. But as far as the P card, I think we'll need a couple more, some funds there to buy more food, things like that. I don't, and then also at the end of year, I could buy stuff on the P card where, we can use for the end of year that we need, like last minute stuff. So if you want to do that now and then just put the money on the P card. And for the rest of the funds that you have, maybe you want to allocate it to the end of year celebration.
So who owns those computers we are using right now?
DOE.
DOE.
Yes.
We don't.
Like it says on the computer, property of DOE.
So what happened, because we, at the end of the pandemic, the council bought some computers.
Aren't these it? I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So these are
These
the
are it.
council-
Yeah.
They're the council's own, so they're not technically DOE's own.
As far as I know, Tamika maybe can I could defer to her, but I think the last time I found out that these are from another AA, these are DOE computers. That's why it says on the back, these are property of DOE. They go to DOE, they put the asset tags on them, they do all of that stuff, and they put this is property of DOE.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but we bought those. It was from our budget.
Yeah, but it's like when you leave, like you can't take it with you.
No, it's for the.
Yeah.
With the cost
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
next
So he's
council.
saying that it's too little bit. He wants like ideally every member should have a DOE computer. Like every term, y'all should have buy a computer. That's what he wants.
How many do we have right now?
4. We have 1. We have 4, and then I work with 1.
Okay, so it's five altogether, but 4 that are available to members.
Well, 3 because that one is always on the Zoom. That one.
I mean, because we're out of the pandemic, I'm a little iffy on it. I understand, but again, like I bring my computer, for example. Some people do, some people need it. We had things in the budget that we ended up costing us a lot. We decided to do things like the, you know, at the end of the year or whatnot. I understand what he's trying to do, but we're coming out of a time when they first bought this in the pandemic where we weren't doing these in-person things. We weren't paying for food. We weren't paying for all of those things. And there was actually excess money that was given back to the park. We haven't really been in that situation for the past couple of years. I don't, you know, and I'm saying this as someone in tech, we spoke about things like the sound system, investing more into that. I don't necessarily agree that buying additional computers just so that we have it, so that someone doesn't have to bring theirs, is the best use of our funds, especially when we're moving more back to in-person type.
I think just the 3 or 4 of this should work. You know, like YouTube share one, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Yeah. So whoever need to present that day probably, you know, have a more handle of that. That should work. We are all sitting here. That should work. Yeah, we share. Yeah.
And $900 is not worth it. It's not worth the type of computer that it's on.
My babysitting money match.
Okay, so.
Okay, but we still have you still wanted additional money on the P card, is that the other suggestion in order to ensure that you'll have money for the year-end celebration? Or is it okay if it's on 2 line items on our budget? Does it have to be? Do you want it there? Okay.
Even after the deadline, I can still use P card.
We have thoughts on that? Can we move it to next meeting?
It's up to y'all, but I have to find parts.
Oh. When is there a deadline? So,
No,
oh, okay.
So how much do we have now? Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Right, so what we're looking at right here is kind of, you know, the amount that we
500.
were scheduled, we agreed on to 25 grand, right? That's what we've got. The amount that we've spent is on member reimbursements thus far. Oh, by the way, please make sure to get me your reimbursements if you haven't just yet, and I'm happy to send Lauren and Pakita information about how to do that. The remaining budget, but also what we did is like people that have forfeited their money is going to go to the year-end celebration. So really, like the wiggle room is here at the bottom line, right? In this kind of reallocation of people saying, I'm going to forfeit it, do what you want with it. And right now, the year-end celebration right now is about, well, not even quite 2,500. I don't know what we spent last year on it. So that's where some money could be moved if we needed to.
You want to say something?
Yes, go ahead. Usually BJ would.
BJ wanted to buy another banner, but a podium one. So our certificate guy, he does that. And we paid for the other one, it was about like $260, $280. So I'm assuming it's gonna be around the same area. Just wants to, like, when you're on the podium, like a banner, it's a podium, it's like a cloth one. So he wanted to do that. And obviously put that up for the end of the year too. And if you guys agree, that's what he wanted to. He suggested.
Can we like think about it and move it to next month? If we, because you know, maybe I don't know, give it more time to think. Or we just decide right now.
Where it come from? Which line they come will come up?
That's the same shop I used for the banner, and he does everything.
I mean, it goes to the line of end of year celebration.
Yeah, it has to come out. Right, but it would have to come out of that line. I think no other line can be moved, right? Well, I mean, I guess we could, but we probably wouldn't, right? Move any other money out of any other line.
What has been the certificate line? How many certificates have we printed recently?
400. And then, like, it's gonna be the end of the year, so we usually ask for, you know, as you know, like, like you guys get, you know, at the end of the year, I don't know who he's planning on giving certificates to. So that's just school ones, but you know, and some from last year, you guys know. Yeah. Every more this year, but so with the banner and everything, last the last term, we spent around 1,400. So now we have 1,000. If you guys want to do the banner, they suggested adding like $300 more there.
We are kind of crunching numbers. I mean, I don't like to just spend money because we have to spend money. And why I understand that it's nice or so forth, but so is a nice cloth banner from Amazon or whatever it is when we have it in there. I mean, I don't know. What is it you're saying? Like it costs about what, two something, maybe $300 for that?
That's for like every single year for councilors to use for events.
Right, I know, but I'm saying we have
like when we had the town hall.
That was on the table for the town hall. That's the one we bought for him. So he wanted another one like that, but like
for podium.
yeah.
Like to me, is this something that can be bought with like funds that's left over on the P card? Because I would prefer that we leave it to the end of the year and based on what we have spent or so forth, if when we're coming down to our June meeting, we still have funds. Yeah, I rather not budget for that right now. It's not an essential, like, because we bought a nice one that's in there. You go to many places, they already have their podiums covered or things like that. So I'm saying to take $300, let's say, out of the budget when we're still not sure that how many certificates, how many of the things that we have committed to doing that we're going to do. And I think, well, did we start this year with any, we did start this year with, no, we have a fresh new budget, so,
Yes.
right,
There
okay.
was no paying anybody else like last
Right,
year,
yeah.
nonsense like that. No, it's
Right,
25.
okay. No, but I'm saying because we've had all of those kind of things, I don't think we are in such a surplus thing that now we just. I think we need to take care of what we have first.
We could, it seems like we gotta keep talking about this.
Yeah.
BJ, he could be a part of that conversation
Yeah.
as well, since he saw all that.
At what point can we keep moving people's forfeited monthly allowances? Is there any point at which you can no longer do that, or can we do that right up until the end? Okay.
Until deadline.
What is the deadline?
Oh, because this is a brand new, I want to say March, but I'll let you know.
Okay, so I like Natipa's idea that if by like February or March or whenever the cutoff is of, hey, you have to either use it or lose it, you don't get a choice anymore. You have to, and then we'll know if anyone's going to reallocate. So for the new people here, sometimes people say, I don't have the expenses, or I missed the whole entire meeting, so I have no childcare to speak of, or I didn't have anything, and then they can say, I forfeited, right? Like someone was graciously said, I don't want any all year, I don't want it. So then that's part of what's being put into the year-end celebration, right? So, other people have done it too, right? We say, I'm not gonna use it. That's fine. So then we can say, if there's enough left, if there's enough wiggle room, if people, No, it's right now. No, it's on your computer as well. Yeah.
I also had one question. Did we get extension on our time or
We're in good shape.
Kathy, for a table. Can I follow your table? The power line.
Oh, I see.
My oval stuff.
Can we table this for when BJ is? Yeah.
Let's.
But was there more?
No, I think we have time to wait to see if there's going to be more money to be spent.
All right.
It wasn't my thing.
No, cool. That, so we're penciling some of that. All right, so next we have BS99Q was an email that was sent out that pretty much is the school that is 1 to 6, and they wanted K to 6, and they wanted to take out 6, and they got it approved and it passed. And they're just letting everybody know, because this was part of the process of doing that. They had to let everybody know. So I don't believe that there's anything we need to do except just know about it. I don't think we have to vote on it or anything like that. It's just knowing that that's what's happening and it's in our district.
Because our vote is not making any difference to the decision that was made already.
Correct.
So it's not affecting.
But they gotta let us know. So they
Yeah,
gotta-
so, yeah, it's gonna be part of our discussion.
And then,
Yep. So it'll take effect when, this year or next year, the next year? Because what happened to the K-5, the children that have stepped up or they're moving up to the sixth grade. So they'll probably stop it next year and they'll give the parents an opportunity to seek the sixth grade elsewhere.
Yeah, we could follow it. Story.
Yeah, was it done already? Like, did
They got it approved. They got it
It's got
approved.
approved. SLT voted to remove the sixth grade. That's what he said earlier. The SLT would have voted last year. They didn't meet over the
So
summer.
there's no sixth grade, well, we say there's no sixth grade this year?
So we don't know that yet.
Yeah,
We'll
we
find that out.
We can find that out.
We'll bring it back next. I know that in the past, we used to did vote on truncation. That's why I'm.
But I don't know.
Yeah, now we just said they voted on
It
it.
just says discuss about it, so.
Yeah, we'll just.
Discuss about it and we'll make decision next time.
I don't think we can.
Okay. Dorinda.
I had sent an email to you, Narone, and the town BJ on that, and Nikita, since it's our school. So you know, so read that email. That was from, base.
It's the Q Garden School. Yeah, I visited that.
Two schools.
Yeah, there's the annex and then the
No, I
upper
visited that
school.
school because I think, what was his name? Jamie, that was in school. I visited that school. They were talking about it. Yeah, they've been talking about it for a long time. The principal was saying that they got it approved when I visited last.
Yeah.
And then, email.
My child
Sent to all of us.
attended that school. I can let you know.
Let us know next meeting.
Yeah, we can check the email. Dorinda send it to yourself, myself, BJ.
No, I think Dorinda sent that email so that I could update her, because I visit.
Oh, that's the email you sent?
Yeah. If you want them to go to the town,
Yes.
Gotcha.
So wait, let me ask you, because I was under the impression I would have to write an email and say, you know, your liaison. You write that email. So once you write, that's what I was saying, that once you write it and introduce me, then I'll find out. Is that how it works?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if I already had that email drafted and had BJ approved it, I was gonna send it out a few weeks ago, but he said not to because school isn't open yet, and he was doing his report tonight and include that in his report, and then I can send it out. So I will talk back with him tomorrow and see if I should send it out tomorrow or Monday, because we can't wait for the report until October.
I think I would need your help with, PS15 because they don't respond to me when I try to email them.
One thing, just going back to the email that Dorinda sent, the August 12th, Reba's email indicated that they're planning to re-engage the community. So that means that the truncation is definitely not in place for this year. On the proposals when school starts. And I believe they just they wanted to make the council aware of it. And I would also suggest that, okay, like as the liaison or so forth, this is something that you could probably engage with the SLT and so forth to get their feedback and whatever it is related to it. I mean, I believe it is a school pushed change, so it shouldn't have too much fuss, but just in terms of engagement from there.
Okay. So now adopting last meeting's minutes. Is that, that's you good to go?
Dorinda has them up. The minutes were shared before. So I'd like to move to adopt the minutes. Like to move to second. Okay, so
I'm confused. What do you mean by adopt minutes?
the minutes that were shared for last meeting, did you have some objections to the minutes? Huh? No, so that, yeah, so if there are no objections, then we can just move to adopt.
I thought we were like, taking, whatever, to adopt
No, no, no.
Do we need to vote?
You're overthinking.
Do we need to vote on this?
Huh?
Do we need to vote on this?
No,
We just
once,
accept it.
once
We
it's,
accept it
no,
in second.
yeah.
We
Once
are
it's.
good. And that is the last of our meeting, so we are adjourned. Thank you for coming out on the first day of school.
Motion.
Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn?
Yes, it is. But we're gonna go on. Adjourn.
Second.
Second.
He always runs us early, either in the meeting or
I
outside.
said-
I'm telling you, go ahead and do it. And then take it. No, oh, you didn't surprise me.